You're live.
Can you guys hear us all right? Thirsty Thursday, hardworking man style. I see Jeremiah's here, Carl Lewis, Bud Williams, Ron Brooks, Steven Reiner, and Timon always first.
Good evening, everybody.
They haven't replied to us yet. If they can hear us.
I mean, we are live. I see it.
There's Timon.
Hey.
How about that Michigan win? Go Blue.
Hello from Vermont.
Richard
Hi,
Pelkey, Colleen,
What's up,
Don
Shad?
Shad, man, hunting season's been rough here for us this year. We haven't got anything yet.
Got a package from you today, Russ.
We haven't hunted much. Russ is here.
Hey,
John's
Ted.
here.
John.
Wrong drink. That's Detroit.
D-Light.
Go Bucks. You guys did beat Tennessee, though. I was rooting for the Vols.
Thanks, Joseph Gilbert. We're a good-looking couple.
Thanks. I elevate Rachel's game.
Yeah.
To make her look better.
The Wise Choice Firewood. Hello from Finger Lakes in New York.
Richard's here. Two Wheels and Barbecue's here. I wonder where Up to Something Outdoors is at.
Richard Titcomb, welcome. Hey. Hi, Jerry.
I hope everyone had a great Christmas. We did. We got the kids home from college. I had to work until about 8 a.m. So not bad. I got home. Every year we do we started it how many years ago? Because our kids, you know how kids snoop. So you can't just wrap their stuff and put their names on it.
First, you need to say that we don't do Santa Claus. So that's
they know Santa Claus. We've actually been called by other parents when our kids were in elementary asking us for our kids
Up to Something Outdoors.
Asking us for our kids not to argue with their kids about Santa Claus because our kids would argue with logic, proving that Santa Claus wasn't real. And so parents would call us and say, can you please tell your kids to stop telling my kids Santa Claus isn't real? But so instead of letting them snoop, we decided, you know what, we're going to make them work for their present. So we would always do something different. So they didn't know whose was whose, like wrap every kid's present in a different wrapping paper. And then to get their stocking in the morning, they have to go on a scavenger hunt. And then the final clue would be in their stocking so they could figure out what presents were theirs. And this year we did it again because we didn't know. They still love it. Our oldest is 21, 20, 18, and 15, and they still look forward to that scavenger hunt. So we did that. And then this year to figure out what present was theirs, they had to crack a code, which was their birth date, all of the single numbers. So if it was, say, April 7, 1995, it would be 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5, and that number total was on the present. So they had to crack that code and figure it out. So,
sorry, bud, Santa is not real. Close your kids' ears if they're.
Oh yeah, if we ruined it for any kids, sorry.
Larry and Robin, good evening.
Hopefully Larry's doing better. I have not watched hardly any YouTube lately.
WD30.
Craig Nash is here. Jonathan from Up to Something Outdoors is here. So a couple guys I work with are starting YouTube channels or have had YouTube channels. Actually, Two Wheels and Barbecue, he had his channel before I had one, but he only did one video and he got like 50 or 60,000 views on it and he didn't do another one. He's done a couple more lately, and then Up to Something Outdoors is another guy from work, and it's actually pretty interesting. He scraps boats. He's been on my channel a few times. He does the maple syrup and stuff, but he scraps boats, like just buys them, disassembles them, sells stuff. Like it's another nice little side hustle if you live in a boat-rich area. So,
what's up, Jack?
Jack's here. Jack's got a
Daniel
couple weeks off work.
Hey, Jack just hit 2K.
Yeah, he did. Congratulations, Jack, on the
Big
2K.
milestone.
He says he's going to start pumping out shorts now on his vacation here.
Yeah.
We do have some giveaways today.
Hi, Larry Meyer.
Some pretty cool stuff, I think.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
We'll do those in a bit. We'll try to spread them out so we don't do them all at once. So most of them are going to be questions that we ask on here, and the first person with the correct answer, it's going to be from our last couple videos. It's going to be the winner. And then one of them will do a random comment generator from the video we just did where my boys were super excited to be out on Christmas Eve, getting that elm down and getting some wood. So if you haven't watched or commented on our last video, you're going to want to jump away and do that because we're going to do a random comment generator on that one.
They had some harsh criticism.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Because I told them, I was like, you guys look like you are
I
being
think they're
punished.
A little camera shy for one. Not everybody is comfortable with a camera in their face.
They're like, whoa, you didn't tell us we had to be excited. I'm like, you guys look like your dog just got hit by a car and you're out there cleaning up the yard.
What did someone say? They're lazier than a pet coon.
Someone else said if we had a tripod there and Rachel could work, we'd get more work.
Or they look like they'd rather be out singing Christmas carols. I'm like, they're fine.
So Thirsty Thursday is not our thing. It's Brad's thing, the third Thursday of every month. So Brad was just up hunting. There's one of the excited kids. Brad was just up hunting with Andrew from Easton Maid. And I texted him. I was like, hey, are you going to be doing your Thirsty Thursday on this Thursday today? Because we hit 25,000 and we wanted to do a live, but I didn't know when to do it. And he said he wasn't going to be able to because he is at his mom's Christmas tonight. So I asked him if he minded if we did it. And he said, absolutely. And I believe he plans on doing Thirsty Thursday next week. So you guys will get sort of a double. We're pinch hitting tonight for the Thirsty Thursday.
Jack wants to know if that's ham you're drinking.
No, it's not. This is some craft beer, Jack. It's D-Light. It's not a IPA. It's from, Michigan, the Atwater Brewery. It's pretty good, actually. I'm not an IPA guy, but it's not hams. It's definitely a step up from hams. Oh,
I do need more lemon vodka, Todd. Ted.
You call him Todd.
I meant to say Ted. I don't know why it came out funny. It's the rum chata, excuse me.
William Klein's here.
That peach vodka was also very good.
Bud says hams is good. I was drinking hams for a while at $9.99 a 30-pack. It was tough to go wrong, but Rachel made fun of me. She said I smelled like bad beer.
Yeah, it doesn't smell good.
I mean, anything is probably a step up from hams.
I think John asked a while ago how we like feeding that boiler.
I mean, I like that I can feed it junk. Jack from Log Cabin Firewood, he's got one of the new fancy boilers that runs at 100% efficiency. And mine, I sent him a picture the other day at running around 50, just puffing smoke. But I love it. It keeps the house warmer than ever. Hot water, unlimited. And I can put just scraps and junk and not dry wood in there.
I just like having it.
Those new ones, you got to put good wood in. You can't be me and be a stage 10 procrastinator and then run out of dry seasoned wood for yourself because you sold it all or didn't make enough.
Will came in from a bonfire to join us.
Thanks, Will. Jimbo says cold and wet beer is fine. I think just like pine. Jimbo, I think you might be the one that said Rachel needs to get the tripod so she can work and put those boys to shame.
You know, it's hard for me to just be shooting and not working.
Russ, that green oak is still in my dump trailer. I'm about to dump it out, though, because I need that trailer because our kitchen remodel is underway. We waited till after the holidays to get further into it. But, yeah, it's still in that dump trailer. And it's been bugging me because it's tying it up. And I have not had one message. I've lowered the price. Nobody's interested in it. I guess I need to do what someone recommended and call it seasoned, even though it's not. And then people would buy it.
I mean, it's been seasoned for like a month.
It's been down dead for a few months. Keep
lowering the price. Yeah. What's up, Jason Lee? Good to see you here. What happened to the 044?
Jeff, I have not. It's been, I thought my life, I got 2 kids in college, a senior in high school and a freshman in high school. And I thought as kids moved out, life would get easier, but it has not. I'm so busy. I literally, that 044, when I was dropped that elm and then it just quit running. I pulled it a few times. It didn't fire. I don't know what happened to it. I literally have been working or Christmas or I actually went hunting tonight, but I haven't touched it. So I don't even know. I picked up the 260 to finish that job and I'm scared, even though I don't think it's anything major because it didn't lock up. It was just idling and it stopped. and then it didn't fire when I pulled it. So I haven't messed with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Hopefully nothing serious, because I do love that saw. I do have a new saw coming, which is cool, but it's not ever going to replace that early 044. That saw, it just rips.
Yes, the kitchen has started the process. I wanted a wall taken out, and I was told that we couldn't take a wall out.
Not by me, by the guy we hired.
Well, you said you didn't think, and that we had to
That's
ask
why I hired somebody.
which is fine. But it was a load-bearing wall. So the guy, I was like, I want this wall out. And he's like, nope, can't. So they looked, and he's like, nope, can't do it. It's load-bearing. And I said, can't we just like put a beam up and run it across the ceiling? And he's like, yeah, you probably could.
It costs a lot more, though. I think he said no because of the cost.
You're assuming. He just said no.
Jeff says it ain't got no gas in it. And that's I filled that saw up right before I started cutting, and I know how long it normally runs. I didn't check the gas, but there's as little as it was running, there's no reason it should be out of gas. But that doesn't mean that the gas pickup line didn't come disconnected or something. So I don't know exactly, but I will hopefully figure it out.
Yeah. So, but I didn't want any more construction happening. This all happened just before Thanksgiving, and I didn't want my kitchen under construction, unusable during Thanksgiving or Christmas. So after the first of the year, probably he's going to come back, and then that's when it's all going to be tore up. It's a thing for air fryers.
Yeah, we're going to be down for a little, but I love cooking outside, and we got plenty of outside cooking we can do. So for Christmas, we actually had ribeye, London broil, which I did both of those on the grill. And then Rachel made mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, some gravy, and then I did some asparagus and broccoli on the flat top. It was a
outdoor cooking is really good. And we have a nice back patio that's covered, like a balconies over top of it. So it's kind of out of the weather for the most part. So it's very nice.
Oh, yeah, my kids didn't like the London broil that much, Jason. They didn't like the balsamic vinegar marinade.
He did.
I thought it was pretty good. But
if you're not a vinegar fan, it doesn't matter what type of vinegar. It's a bit much.
Yeah, I like white vinegar on my fries. They do that in Canada. That's good. We got Mount Tammany Ridge here. Up to something outdoor. Says he might see me at the dump. He brings the boats there when he's done stripping them out. I do have to bring a couple loads there once we rip out more of the kitchen. Dan's here, Mark, all kinds of people here. So thanks for tuning in. And we're doing this, I guess. We like doing lives, but we haven't done a lot lately because we've been so busy. So this is sort of a thank you, and we wanted to give some stuff away.
There will be giveaways if you missed it. We have how many?
At least 4.
At least 4.
And there's some pretty good ones. We already mentioned we're going to give away a pair of Camel City Mill socks. We absolutely love those socks. Oh, cheers to Don Scheib for the super chat. Thanks, Don. The Camel City Mill socks, I'm not, like, if you see stuff on the channel, because, if you have a YouTube channel and you start growing and people want to send you stuff, and we refuse a ton of stuff. But if you see something on the channel over and over and over, it's because we love it, and it's not because we make money off it or whatever. Like some stuff we do, but if we keep mentioning something, it's because we truly love it. And I mention stuff that I have no affiliation with whatsoever. If I like it and I feel like it will help people, I'll continue to mention it. And when I say that the Camel City Mill socks are my favorite sock I've ever worn, that is 100% the truth.
It's his daily sock. It's not just a random wear it out.
And like Jeremiah Outdoors in the 608, he said he only bought 1 pair and he wears them the entire weekend. These socks you can do that with. I don't know how they make them different than other wool socks, but they're awesome. Dick's here, old guy Firewood.
Dick.
Welcome, Dick. I saw on Dick's channel, and I'm gonna buy one.
Do you wash them? Yes, we wash them.
Yeah, we wash them.
He doesn't.
I do my own
them.
laundry. I dry them on low heat, and I wash them. I usually wash all my laundry with scent-free soap in case I wear it before I go hunting, so I don't contaminate my body. But
year round. Well, because you have things that are made out of merino wool, so you do have to wash it in a separate load.
I'm a big fan of
versus
merino
everything
wool, and
else.
that's what the Camel City Mill socks are made with. But I have merino wool First Light boxer briefs that I love. I have a lot of my hunting base layers are merino wool. So when I wash that stuff, it's a gentle cycle and a low heat dryer.
Right. I mean, it's still washer and dryer, but just different cycles.
Yeah.
It's not a hand wash.
I don't let, and sometimes, so we have this thing when we put laundry in the washing machine, like if it's my stuff, I put my laundry basket on top of it so that people know you don't just put this in the dryer and hit go. But sometimes I've had the kids do that, and then I go to put on some of my merino wool like socks. I haven't had it happen to the Camel City Mill, but like they shrink a little and they get really tight, and Dad gets not super thrilled that somebody just threw his stuff in high heat, because I don't know how much you can do that.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you all who say to do that beam. I thought you could do a beam because I love home design interior stuff. So I was like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a beam. So we did get a beam. We have it put in, so that wall was torn out. And it is amazing how much more room
it's awesome.
it looks like we have there. It feels so much bigger. That wall was just kind of made the kitchen just seem so much smaller. And so now I'm finally getting like a vision of, okay, maybe I'll get the kitchen that I want. We're not simply just taking out old and putting new in the same spot.
We're changing everything.
Everything's going to be reconfigured.
Shibe says he uses the hollow socks and the willow waist socks, which are a alpaca. And I haven't tried those yet, but I will say my father-in-law had a brand new pair of one of the two. I don't remember which one. And I didn't love the feeling of them compared to the Camel City Mill. I didn't put them on. They were brand new on the package. I didn't want to try his socks on, but I felt them and I want to try them. But I didn't love the feel of them compared, especially to the Camel City Mill. And we've had quite a few people comment that have bought them from our recommendation, and every single comment we've got regarding them, people say they're the best socks they've ever worn. So we're giving away a pair of those.
We're going to give away a pair.
It looks like Dick from Old Guy Firewood's going to be having a review.
He gave his brothers 6 pairs. See,
they're awesome. I'm not joking. Like if I have a lot of socks, and I bought the darn tough to test them. I like them. They're not, if they're sitting next to the Camel City, I'm grabbing the Camel City.
And I wear them. Like, I like them. I don't like the hunting socks. I'm going to probably wear Camel City from here on out, because the ones you have for hunting are like big and bulky. They're wool, but they're big and bulky. These ones I've worn in my tennis shoes, and they're not too thick. They're good.
So Rachel says, so for the Camel City Mill socks that we're going to give away, it's that last video we released, the hardworking men with my 2 boys that weren't thrilled. Felling a hazard tree for boiler wood. So I'm going to put that in the random comment generator. If you haven't, Rachel will put a link up real quick. So you have time to go comment. Just comment. It doesn't matter what. And then we're going to do a random comment generator for that one. So she's going to link it while I am looking it up.
Trying to figure out how to do a random comment.
No, I'm doing random comment generator. You're just putting it up here. I'm an expert at technology.
That should have given. There's a link to the video he's going to pull from. So if you want to win a pair of Camel City socks for yourself, they have ankle length, they have more of a tube length, black, gray, made in the USA.
I'm going to give you guys a minute.
Yeah.
Jeff, they're like $20 some a pair, depending on which ones you get, but they have a 10-year warranty, which warranties, I haven't used it. They are made in the USA. I don't know. Sometimes there will be a warranty and it costs $12 to send them in. I don't know exactly how their warranty works, but 10 years for a pair of socks is pretty impressive. And trust me, if you wore them, man, they're worth the money. Even if you can only buy 2 or 3 pair and rotate them through. But if they last, if the 10-year warranty is, you send them in, you get a new pair. And like I said, I haven't researched it as to if it's one time or if there's a shipping charge or how that works. But I have to believe it's pretty decent because it seems like a pretty good company overall.
I think they have to restock because a lot of people ordered. Probably because they saw them on our channel.
Rachel's sort of a big deal. No, they did say that they had some. They sold out of a lot around Christmas that they didn't expect to.
Oh, they're back in stock now, I guess.
Bert's here. Bert's Custom Cuts.
Hey, Tim Stout.
Larry.
You just have to comment. Go to that video and comment. Leave a comment, and then we're just going to randomly. It'll just pick a random comment.
Jimbo, I think they're just online. I think they're factory direct, and they're made in, I believe, North Carolina. I'm not an expert by any means, but
North Carolina? Why did I think Wisconsin?
Bud says you have to have 100 pairs to last 10 years. That's why like I said, I haven't ever had to warranty a pair. But if you could buy 10 pairs, and if they send you a new one every time you wear them out, like my son, my oldest, not my oldest, Nate, my senior. So he buys tennis shoes for playing tennis in, and they have a warranty. But their warranty is, you have to be able to see your bare foot through the bottom of the shoe. And it's a 1-year warranty. Sole. He can wear those shoes out legitimately playing tennis in like 2 months. You can see his foot through the bottom, and then we send them, and they send us a new pair or give us a coupon for if his size, because he's got like a 13 wide. So when they're in the transition of the new model year, we have to wait for the new model year to come out. But
Tim Stout, there's a link. I linked the video to comment on. It's just our last video.
You can do it again real quick, probably. It should still be saved.
Paste.
There we go. There it is.
They do have a website.
We'll have a link. We have a link to that too, where we do get a we're affiliates. So
if you order through our link,
then we do get some money. But that's not why we tell you about them, because there's other stuff that we get some money from that we never tell you about because we don't love it. Because sometimes you get a product and you initially like it, but the longevity or overall you find something better. So it's not, I don't just, this is great because I can make a couple dollars off it. That's not me.
Dick says you send the old ones in, they send you new ones.
There you go.
That's pretty easy. All right, probably give me a minute.
I've thought about that. I'm like, how do they know if you put them on the belt sander to get to the bottom? But Nate doesn't have to. He just burns them up, man.
He's gone through 2 pair in 1 season, which is unfortunate because they're like $80-$90 for a pair of those shoes.
Yeah, his tennis shoes, not the socks.
Oh, well.
Thank you, Bean Creek Woodworks. Congrats on the 25K. I'll tell you what, man, when we, for anyone who's new, the reason Hardworking Man is a channel is because my kids wanted me to have a YouTube channel. And I always said, I don't have time for it. I'm not a technology guy. Not my thing. If I have an hour to work, I want to get 2 hours of work done. And having YouTube, anyone who has a channel knows it's the complete opposite. But I finally broke down. And I wish I had listened to my kids earlier because it was back when there weren't very many channels. And like Outdoors with the Morgans was a newer channel. And, I didn't know. Who knew that kids were smart? I didn't suspect
they wanted
that.
you to do like more hunting videos.
They did. Hunting's tough because me and my brother were on a hunting show on the Sportsman's channel or the Sportsman's channel, I think. And that's really tough. But we started the channel because my kids wanted me to. And I'm like, you know what? If you guys want me to, we'll do it. And we did it. And it's just continued to grow. And we never expected to be what it is now, but now we want it to be even greater. So, all right, let's do this giveaway. So random comment generator. I'm going to hit it twice so this first one doesn't count. Anything goes. Okay, no. So there's 71 comments.
They can't read that.
I'm going to pick a winner and let's see who it is.
Read it yourself.
Oh, I'm going to. The Wise Choice Firewood. So if the Wise Choice Firewood is on here, we'll get a hold of you and we'll have them shipped straight to you. We need to figure out what size you want, what style you want, all that. If you're not on here, we will get a hold of you.
You can email.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But the rest of the stuff we give away today is going to be you guys answering questions here in the live stream. So the Wise Choice Firewood is the first winner for a pair of the Camel City Mill socks.
You can't even see that.
That's fine.
Oh, I keep showing. Show them again. Maybe they can read it now. Oh, goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
There you are. So shoot
Hey.
us an email, hardworkingmanoutdoors@gmail.com, and we'll figure out what size you want, what style they have, like the 4-inch or ankle socks, the crew socks, and the taller boot socks. And then they have gray and black. So
I'll write down.
Rachel, could you write that down for me?
Don't even.
I have Rachel writing it down for me. So how was everyone's Christmas? Hopefully everything went good. We went to the other side of the state to visit Rachel's mom and her dad. That was it's just a 3-hour drive, but on the way back it was what?
Bad weather. We
were going a lot slower. It was ice. It was
like 45 on the expressway. Yeah. It wasn't pretty.
So, and then we're going back this weekend for my family.
Yeah.
But hopefully everyone, Christmas is a fun time, most of the time. I will say when we were younger, it was a bit chaotic because all of our parents wanted us there on Christmas Day.
Well, both of our parents are divorced, so that
was four
different
houses. And so they all expected you to their house on Christmas Day. So we would try to do our own Christmas and then try to get to 4. And finally, I said, this isn't going to happen anymore. Like,
once I had babies, I said, I am no longer interested in packing them up
to go trying to race everywhere. You couldn't enjoy any of it. So now it's been broke down and split up. And Christmas Day is just here at our house with our kids. And
Joseph Gilbert was sick. You know what? Our Nathan is sick.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, we're pretty sure he probably has COVID.
Yeah, we didn't test him.
But
you guys know me. I'm a super spreader. I was at Brad's last year. They all called me a super spreader.
He woke up, I think, what was it, Christmas Eve? Did he go over to his girlfriend's family? And he was not in great shape.
Well, so for wrestling, the kid's been an absolute monster this year. He's been just wrecking kids. He was 11-0, 12-1, I think. And then we have a big county tournament, and he went down an extra weight class, and he was expected to win that weight class.
Thank you.
And his first day, he wrestled 2 kids that he should have just absolutely taken apart. And he pinned them both in the first round, and neither one of them scored on him, but it wasn't he should have done. And then day 2, he got beat by 2 kids that they were good wrestlers. One of them finished second in the tournament, but he should have beat them both. And we were like, what in the heck just happened? Well, he was starting to feel bad a day or 2 before. And it always gets in his chest, and he gets this croupy cough. Yeah, now he's full out,
now
sick.
It's bad. Now
he's got a fever. He's weak.
So he was sick on Christmas Day also.
So we're pretty sure.
He did not sleep. He was fever, coughing all night. We're hoping it goes by quick. Otherwise, he won't be able to come with us over to family. And hopefully no one else gets it.
Yeah, I'm immune.
Jerry kicked the kids out at 7:45 so he could watch. I'm surprised you're not here, Jerry. There's a spot on the couch right here between us.
Oh, yeah. Sarge. So, we got a lot going on right now. We have trees felling for the woodyard expansion project. We've got, believe it or not, I have projects everywhere right now. There's trees laying down. There's the garage is in shambles. The kitchen is in shambles. I've ordered another load of logs. I've got stuff going on absolutely everywhere.
Jimbo, he wasn't out there working. It was the other 2. We have 3 boys and a daughter.
Yeah, he wasn't because he was sick.
Yeah.
And our daughter, Megan, she's a worker too, but
she would have been throwing rounds.
Yeah. Sarge has been up since yesterday. That's how it goes working midnight.
Well, he probably smoked some meat too, because that's what you boys do when you work midnights, and he said to smoke meat all night and don't sleep at all.
She's talking like brisket or something. Like,
what else are you gonna do with meat?
I don't know.
How else you smoke meat over there?
You gotta watch what you say, Rachel.
Oh gosh. Yeah, well, Zach probably wasn't super thrilled in the video because he's at the age where his friends all watch the channel, and like will screenshot stuff that could be embarrassing to him and make fun of him. Like my short with the chaps. They'll say,
they got that saved somewhere and they spread
So
it
they'll
around.
say
Even
to-
though Rachel took it down a long
they'll
time
say
ago.
to him like, they're not pants, they're chaps, just to make fun of him. So
Working midnights definitely has its perks, but it definitely has its downsides too. Shive, yeah, you got to get on that video train and you got to chop a tree down with an axe.
yeah.
I know you said that you're gonna get on it soon. Now that hunting season's winding down. There's Todd spelling our names wrong.
Keith.
Todd, I don't want to rub it in, but since you decided to put our names wrong, I will tell you that I got another new Olight.
We did get a nice.
It's like
Olight.
a clip light. I love it because I bought one like Olight. I talk about Olight all the time, and
We gave Olight as gifts this year because they're so good.
we give them as gifts. I buy my own. They send me one once in a while. One of my buddies that's on here, Two Wheels and Barbecue, he bought like a big 5-pack of them, and then they keep sending him like gifts because he bought the 5-pack. So they'll just randomly show up, and that's how I got that clip light. I got a clip
Happy
light
Thanksgiving
and
gift.
an ink pen with a window breaker, and they just sent it. No video request, nothing. Just sent it and said, "Thank you for being part of the Olight family. Happy Thanksgiving. We hope you enjoy this gift." Like that's, and it wasn't just because I put their stuff on my channel, because like I said, my buddy got it, and they just keep sending him little stuff here and there to check it out, which is cool.
Cheers, see what he wrote. I don't want to rub it in either, but I already have that one.
Well, I got 2 of them, Todd. But like this one, I carry it literally everywhere. These little arc valve lights from Olight. Somebody the other day at work, I work law enforcement, so flashlights are what we do. And these lights are the most popular light I ever see at work. Everyone has them. They love them. And somebody says, that is the most comfortable flashlight I've ever owned. And I'm like, that's so true. But who thinks of a flashlight as being comfortable? Because it's sort of like a pocket knife. And you put it in your pocket and you don't even know it's there until you need it. And it's a flashlight, it's a laser, it's a UV light, which is a lot of fun. When you look in the work vehicles, they're nasty.
Are they durable?
They're lifetime guarantee. And I've never broke one yet. And Todd, he had his stuck to the bottom of his truck because they're magnetic on the back, because that's how they charge. And you can magnet them to stuff. And his, I think he said he stuck it to the bottom of a truck working on it and drove it home, and then was like, oh my gosh. And then it was still there. Like, I've dropped them. If we're using them in law enforcement, they're durable.
What's the model of that one?
This is the Arc Veld Pro, I believe. It's ARKVELD, I believe. But there's the Pro, there's the regular, there's the Mini. But like I said, you see these in almost everyone's pocket at work because they go in your pocket and you don't even know it's there. But I use it probably 5+ times on most days.
If John needs a flashlight, he should be in bed.
No, it gets dark so early now. John, You don't even get up till later in the day. John sleeps in the morning.
When I'm driving home from somewhere at like 4:30 and the sun is setting, it's dark, I'm like, I think it's time for bed. I'm ready to go to bed.
It has been feeling like bed. But
I don't like this cold. Have mag lights gone out of fashion?
Mag lights are gone. They're a thing of the past. I remember when those were the thing.
They're so heavy.
You had the mag lights with like the 10D batteries in them. You could baseball bat somebody down with that bad boy. But these little, like our little keychain lights, the Olight, it's a magnetic keychain light that charges on any USB. And to turn it on, you just pull it out from the holder and it's magnetic and it's on. And then you put it back in and it shuts off. We gave those to both of our father-in-law, her dad and father-in-law. My dad will get one. Like, we have them on all of our keys here at home. Like, you use them for any, like when you're just trying to find the keyhole at night. If you have older cars like I do with real keys and without remote locks, boom, you pull it out, it's there. Do it, whatever. But they're awesome.
Someone asked a while ago how much snow we have.
Only a couple inches, and I think it's going to be gone by this weekend because they're going to replace it with rain and mud.
pretty slushy out there right now.
Yeah, I remember the mag lights, and then after mag light, I feel like the next iteration was the Surefires that use the CR.
Yeah.
What is that? The CR2 or the CR23 batteries that are like $12 a piece, but those Surefires were bright. And then like the stream lights with the rechargeable, but now the light technology has, like all technologies, but flashlights have come light years in the last few years.
Oh, they got his son's girlfriend and his daughter one time.
They're all rechargeable. So the Olights, a lot of them, they have a little magnetic disc, and it just magnets on there and charges it, which I like and I don't like. Now that I have several of them, because every time you buy a light, you get one, you can buy extra chargers, all of that. But if you go somewhere and you forget your charger, you can't just plug it into a Type-C or to a regular USB. Now, those little ones on our keychain, that literally plugs into any USB. It's just a little USB port. You can plug it into your computer. You can plug it into any charging block, anything. But a lot of their lights have this, which is their own charging setup, which I'm like, I like it, but I don't love it. I would rather have just a Type-C. And like the clip light that I just got is a Type-C. Some of their lights are Type-C, just a little mini USB thing. But a lot of them are this magnetic disc that sticks on here. And once you have a few, it's okay, because you throw one in the car, you throw one here, you throw one there. But it's if there was one thing I could recommend they change, I would say if you're going to have this, also have a Type-C or something. But they are rechargeable, and I love them, and they last a long time.
I want to do another giveaway.
All right, Rachel says do a giveaway. So this one's going to be a question. What should we give away? Let's give away.
Are we giving away an Olight? No.
We can give away an Olight. I love giving stuff away.
I mean, we just talked about it forever. Now,
all right, we'll give away an Olight.
Should get an Olight after all that.
So Rachel wants to give away an Olight. We're giving away a lot of the stuff that we use and that we like. So we're giving away an Olight.
It's like Christmas.
What kind do we give away? One of the keychain ones, or do we give away?
Our choosing.
Well, you have to tell them what they're going to win.
I only have.
I love that keychain light.
The keychain one. I like keychains. I have one. We have them on all our keychains, and I do love it. It's pretty slick. So
we're going to give away an Olight. So Rachel's going to ask a question from one of our recent videos, and the first person with the correct answer is going to win.
Okay, what am I going to ask?
I don't know. You the one who wanted to do it.
Oh, goodness.
It can't be this question.
No, that's boring.
And it can't be this question. And it can't be that question. Because those are all other giveaways we're going to do. So what's your question?
Oh, put me on the spot.
You picked it. It's not going to be 42, bud. Don't do a question with it. You got to do. I like to try to do questions that are.
You got to watch our video to know it.
Yeah, that aren't just guesses. Like 40, not a number or a color.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Look at all these questions they're eliminating for
Look
you.
at it. They're all answering. How did you know? I got to ask you. I got to whisper.
You know they'll hear you.
No, they won't.
I can't hear.
Do you know? That's right. When we went to Jason's and then I split the 2 full cord, do you know my time?
No, not at all.
I thought maybe you remembered.
That was quite a ways ago.
No? I mean,
42, I believe, is Jackie Robinson, if I'm not mistaken.
We've been doing this for 25,000.
That's what they're talking about.
What is the meaning of life?
It was not near 21 minutes.
What is my daughter's name? And go. And you got to spell it right.
And she's a spell Nazi.
I'm a stickler on
She's
spelling.
been on the channel. She's throwing it back. Two Wheels and Barbecue wins. Megan.
Oh.
I don't know if that counts, though.
That's a little cheating.
And up to something. We're going to ban those 2 guys because I've worked with them both.
They're all
so Rich Fabian is the first one with the correct spelling. that's not personally know me.
Right. You guys are cheaters.
So
Rachel,
Rich
it's just my
Fabian,
mom.
that's who we eliminated you two from that one because Rachel asked a question that wasn't fair for you guys.
I mean, you wouldn't know the answer if
I'll get
they
Jerry
asked.
one. I'll get Jerry one too because he was technically the first winner, but I'm also going to get Rich Fabian one.
Yeah.
Because he was the first winner that doesn't know my daughter personally.
Jonathan was the first answer. He just, that's not Megan, you typed.
Oh, yeah. He typed Methan.
Methan.
So, and then he got Meghan. We got
No,
Rachel threw the spelling in there. So the first correct spelling is Rich Fabian. So Rich, here, write down Rich Fabian for that and Jerry Sargent.
Jerry.
So Jerry, you get one because you were the first one, but you know Megan. So that is cheating. So we're also going to give Rich one.
Okay, so Rich, you have to email us your address.
hardworkingmanoutdoors@gmail.com. Bill, welcome. Don't worry
Bill.
that you're late. You did miss 2 giveaways, but we have a few more, and we have one of the biggest ones left. So you're still good.
Hey,
It's Gringo Pines. I know it's a lot warmer down there where you're at.
Merry
Gringo
Christmas.
Pines is down in Mexico. You're talking over me.
Because I'm reading faster.
She is faster.
Megan,
I knew Todd wasn't going to win because he
Right.
even if he knew the right spelling, he'd do it wrong on accident on purpose.
We're giving it to someone else.
Todd must
Don't
have.
worry.
No, we're going to give you. You don't have one. You do need one.
Mm.
We are giving one to someone else too. So, but you're going to get one because Rachel didn't exclude people that know her. But
Well, you wouldn't have answered if Up to Something Outdoors said, name my kid's name. You would not know it. So that's not necessarily an unfair question.
I would. I know his daughters.
What are his daughters' names? What's his wife's name? See?
You can't put me on the spot. This isn't about them. I know them.
Okay.
My brain doesn't work right. You can't put me on the spot about questions.
Hearing disabled veteran over here. I know they're even on the channel. That's what I'm saying. It's not really that exclusionary because reasonably, I know he wouldn't know.
Oh, it's cold at 8,000 square feet down there. Gringo says.
8,000 square feet.
Yeah, square feet.
That's what you just
That's
said.
how much wood I sell. 8,000 square
You said
feet
it's
a day.
cold at 8,000 square feet.
8,000 feet elevation.
I was before him in the chat.
Jeff was?
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Let's
We
just
got to see.
scroll up.
So sometimes this is one thing I don't like about doing these. Let's see. Because sometimes the way it comes through on ours is different than what.
Jeff was 2 after.
Yeah, so
on
ours
our
has
screen.
Rich Fabian, Ron Brooks, and then Jeff. So that's how it comes up in our chat.
You were all correct. Good on you.
So I don't know how. So on ours, it says Ron Brooks was first, and then Jeff LeVar, and then Jerry Ray. Oh, no, Jerry got it wrong. Rich Fabian, then Ron Brooks, then Jeff LeVar. So that's how we got to go, is by how we see it.
That's funny.
But yeah, sometimes I've seen this on other channels where people are like, no, mine was first or mine was, but we got to go with how it pops up
How
on
it
our
shows
screen
on our
here.
screen.
How was it on yours?
That's how it is on mine, on my phone.
Yeah, so I don't know why it does that, unless maybe it's because it's yours.
Maybe you didn't see it before you hit enter, and that would have made sense.
It could be. Jason Lee, cheers.
Cheers
Thank you
to
for the super
Jason.
chat from
Thank
Jason.
you.
I finally remembered. I forgot. So we went and did that video with Jason Lee a while ago where we ran a splitter. I can't say
the
what.
2 box store
Against
splitters.
his county line. And then I brought him a hat because anytime someone's on the channel, I try to get him something, just as a thank you or, whatever. But his son was there and his son helped out. And I was like, hey, I'll bring you a t-shirt and whatever. And my memory is shot. So I forgot to bring that like 100,000 times. And I finally remembered to bring it. So I brought that and I brought him some of those bags that he could try out from Quadell Industries that we use for our bagger so he could try them out and see if he likes them or not before he goes to buying a whole roll of them.
Hi, Brad. Welcome. Thanks.
William Klein, you need to send me. I didn't ever get you the stickers. I keep you ask if we have them, and we do. and I reply to the comments like, shoot me an email. I thought I had your address because I think you won some boots before. But William, shoot me an email, hardworkingmanoutdoors@gmail.com with your address so I can get you some stickers.
Thanks for sharing Thirsty Thursday, Brad.
Oh, Brad, is he here? All right. How's the Christmas party going?
Merry Christmas. So
I know you had a blast up there in Canada, even though Chaz's truck froze. His diesel gelled and he couldn't start it. And someone's like, "That's why you need to buy a Ford or a Dodge. Like
I
it's
didn't know
diesel."
that was a diesel.
Yeah, like if diesel's gonna gel, it don't matter what truck you got. But Chevy's the way to go.
How did you lose?
We played a game. We're very competitive, as you all know. But we played a game the other day. What was that? We just got it. I didn't love it.
Oh, it's called Poppycock.
Not that
It was
funny.
just a new one. We like to buy games. There's a game that's really funny that you will laugh because it's so awkward and uncomfortable. It's called Utter Nonsense. And if you've ever played like Apples to Apples
Can you let the dog
or
out, please?
Habitat, no, not Habitat. What is that for humanity? Whatever that is.
Cards Against Humanity
There you
or something.
Habitat
for Humanity.
But if you've ever played that, it's the same kind of gist where like they have one person who has to pick. So, but this is different because you have to say one of your cards in the accent that is drawn. So you think you're okay with doing like a British accent until all the people playing with you's eyes are staring at you, and all of a sudden you're like, ugh. And then everyone laughs like tears. Tears are just coming out of my eyes because you feel so stupid doing all these. And they're like,
I always win the one that's yelling.
Well, there's one, it's like whale. So you're like, what do you mean whale? That's not an accent. So everyone's like,
no, we have winter fuel here in Michigan, though.
So you feel stupid, but you laugh so hard. It is hilarious.
Yeah, that one is fun, but the Poppycock game wasn't fun.
That one was just a bunch of trivia that no one knew. So that's why it wasn't fun.
But yeah, we do. Brad decided he didn't know they had winter fuel in Canada, which, like when you grow up. So in Michigan, we have winter diesel fuel because it has anti-gel in it. So you just sort of assume that where you live and how things go, that's how it is. But apparently it's not. So you don't know about winter fuel. And like sometimes say you have a tractor or a truck that you don't drive all the time, then if you have summer fuel in it and you haven't driven it for a while, it can get you because it gels up because it's not the winter fuel because you haven't run it out yet. So Brad, I had mentioned earlier that you are probably going to do Thirsty Thursday next week. Is that true?
He just spoke for you.
Well, no, because Brad told me that he was planning on probably doing that. So yes, next week. So you guys get double Thirsty Thursdays this week, and we're pinch hitting tonight. But
milk in bags.
There is milk in bags in Canada.
Yeah,
and
that's what James said.
Yeah, it costs way more than milk in America because their cows are stingier or something. No, they regulate the milk in Canada, like what people can get when they come over here. Can someone come get the dog, please? My kids are letting us down.
All the bros are here tonight.
Yeah, a bunch of Zach's friends are here. We got them. We got a video we're gonna do with them that I think you guys will think is fun, and they're putting some input into it. So Rachel shouted out some of them the other day.
Oh, my homies.
All our homies. It looks like they're eating all my ice cream now. The ice cream in this house. This kid right here, my youngest, he eats it like it's a sport.
They don't have wintergreen skull in Canada, huh? Hey, Mega Mike.
Oh, tell Chaz to quit chewing. That stuff's bad for him.
Well,
Brad, did you guys end up tagging anything up there? I know you ate good and had a lot of fun.
James, you're going to be the 51st state soon, so don't worry.
There is a milk cartel up there. Just imagine if you guys could, like, we sell beer at gas. So in Canada, because I work in Canada sometimes or go over there to buy stuff, like they are like, you go to a gas station here in Michigan and you can buy beer, and some gas stations you can buy liquor and you can buy this, and you can, like in Canada, they have a beer store. That's where you buy. You go to a gas station, they don't have beer, they don't have liquor. like you have to go to regulated stores to buy your beer or your liquor. You can't just get it at Myers or Walmart or the gas station. Like you got to go to the beer store. Like it's, I mean, I don't know how you guys drink and drive because you can't just get it at a drive-through gas station like we can here in the States.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, now wait. What's Justin saying? Now we do. Now we do what?
you probably just didn't read. They didn't get anything. They were only going to shoot a monster.
All right. That's a good choice because it's probably a pain to bring it back, to be honest. We haven't shot anything yet this year. I shot a deer tonight actually that I'm going to go get in the morning because it ran onto the neighbors and he didn't get a hold of me until after I was gone. But yeah, it's been a slow year. But yeah, we passed a lot of young bucks. Who Massachusetts has a?
Only a beer store.
Oh man, Michigan.
You know what,
but in Michigan, in some counties, they won't sell it like on Sunday or Sunday before noon.
Before noon.
Like I don't. These are weird laws.
Oh, Ontario has beer and gas stations now.
Do they now?
It was a doe.
No, it wasn't a big buck. We're just shooting does now. But we've passed a lot of small bucks this year.
Wired streetlights? Is that what that's supposed to say?
Will got a deer Christmas Eve. We'll get some. We should get some. I'm pretty sure the one I got tonight will be laying not far out of the neighbors. But those taste better. Rachel will not eat buck meat.
I won't eat buck meat.
And I've lied to her. I have tricked her. I have.
Can smell it when it's cooking.
No, she'll take one bite. She'll be like, "What deer is this?" I'm like, "It was my doe." And she'll take a bite. She's like, "That's a buck." I don't know how. Like
I can tell.
She can.
So I only like the buck meat for me to eat to be made into the summer sausage or the hot stick or jerky. I don't like to eat the steak or burger from it. I can smell it in the pan. It's definitely different to me.
Like a mature buck, I get that, but like even when we used to shoot less mature buck, she could still tell.
It's all in the seasoning.
Who's got the Lions winning the Super Bowl because they're missing like 3/4 of their team now and they still just keep winning? I know the Brad, he's got the Ravens, and we got some Eagles fans, and
I'm not crazy.
The Yorkwoods is here. He picked up the new little not super splitter, split fire vertical at Bunyan. I wanted to try one of those. I went to their booth and hung out for a while looking at that thing, waiting for one of them to talk to me, and they all just sort of stood there. That is a neat little splitter. It's been on a few channels, Tony School Tools, Yorkwoods. Like, it's not commercial. It's not the Axis. It's not going to be, but it's a neat, it's probably one of the better low-cost splitters I've seen.
Jordan's family's gotten 6 deer so far. You are putting us to shame, brother.
Yeah. He did shoot a buck with no antlers, so. I seen one of those tonight. It had just 2 little red dots on his head from where he dropped. Jason Lee's got the Lions. Will's got the Eagles. The Eagles ain't got it. They ain't got the Kansas City Chiefs with the refs in their pocket. They're going to be tough. They haven't scored over 31 points this year, and they've only lost 1 game. And they've won the most games by the referees that I've ever seen in my life. Russ, I agree with you. I'm interested in checking out the split fire, the electric one. I know it's a little slower, but if you want to run it in the garage with maybe some heat, especially you guys there in Maine and stuff, like doing the bundle wood and the smoker wood, like I know Larry and Robin, they've got the electric super split, like an electric splitter in a garage so you can run it when it's nastier weather. Like, I'll run a gas engine in a garage. You guys know me. I'll take my chances, but you shouldn't, and most people won't. But I want to try that electric split fire vertical and see how it does. Yeah, Russ, you need to get Kevin out of there. He won't wear the gloves when he's making bags. If you had electric machine and some heated garage, which I'm about to have me a heated garage, which I'm excited about. We'll be bringing that to you because I finally got 220 in the garage. And now, because I got 220 or 240, whatever you want to call it, I can have a heater. I can have a new welder. I can have new stuff, new tools,
He
new
just
air
has to clean it
compressors.
so you could actually
But
use
we can't.
it.
I might do a video of that because I'm going to have to take everything out and redo it. But I got plans. I'm going to get rid of stuff. I'm going to change stuff. I'm going to fix it up, and it's going to be great.
You really should try to get some like garage organization.
Yeah. I need.
And
I
that
need
wasn't convincing. Yeah.
well, no, I want it, but I don't. I need a person too. Like or
No,
two, and I need to not have a
That's the
full-time
problem,
job.
James.
I need a
keeps
not
hitting up
full-time job.
auctions and just buying random storage
Wait till my
containers
sea
that
container
don't.
gets here, and then I can put stuff in there.
Yeah, he wants to get
A sea container.
sea container.
I'm gonna hide it in the woods because Rachel said I can't have one, but I'm gonna have to hide it
It's
with
not
a
gonna
camo
hide.
tarp so she doesn't know it's there.
All I think about with that, the reason why I don't want it is because he's just going to fill it to the brim full of crap and he won't remember what's in there. And then he'll be like, oh, I need you to go get this. And he'll send me out there. And then I will have to traipse through a million things in this dark sea container with mice everywhere. I already know.
No, we're gonna get the mice. We are gonna kill the mice.
I already know.
The
my
mice
fate.
they've waged war on us, and then we are now waging war on the mice. And I found something that one of my buddies on here from Two Wheels and Barbecue showed me, and I'm going to make a video of it because it is a mice murderer. And the mice, they ruined my all-wood log splitter. Well, they chewed the wires and cost me over $300 because I didn't diagnose it before. I just jumped in, and I was impulsive, which I tend to be. And I bought new coils with special resistors in them. And all it was the mice had chewed the coating off the wires to the coils, so the electric was straying. They also got in my truck.
Our van.
They also ate the gas tank on my van.
Yes.
We had a gas leak, and they ate the top of my gas tank.
Oh, we have code words. That's a fun one. Good luck, Brad.
So we are going to destroy the mice. John from Frickin' Jeep.
You are banned. I'm going to block you.
John from Frickin' Jeep, he keeps track of how many mice he kills. I don't. I am just laying waste to them with one of the greatest mice destroying inventions I've ever seen, and we're going to show you guys. I'm excited. And that's the video my son's friends are going to be in, where they're going to test these mouse traps for us, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. But Rachel says we need waivers from their parents in case they get hurt.
Kids these days aren't built the way they used to be. I don't know.
I like Jordan, one of my son's friends. He said, "Can you get some rat traps
to
up the level of testing?"
We're like, "That'll break your finger, kid." Like, that's all right.
So you can tell I just got real excited.
Are you
about
sure they're not
mice.
squirrels getting into our?
Well, we had chipmunks, and I had to lay waste to them because I tried to sleep, and my dogs, they would torment them out back. So I bought a chipmunk trap, and I believe I have effectively eliminated the chipmunks because we haven't seen one in quite a while.
You need a cat.
Cats don't work well here because my little wiener dog, when a cat does come here,
We
and
do get random cats out
Dachshund,
here.
Didi, my deer tracking dog, she gets a hold of them, and they don't ever come back.
She attacks them. She literally chases them and attacks
And
it.
she gets them, and they don't like it, and they don't come back. So
I'm okay
cat's
with
not
the
gonna
outdoor
work.
cats if they keep the creatures.
Didi got a
away.
mouse the other day. She hunts them down. So that's how we know when there's a mouse in our house, because Didi will come down and she will with her nose, and I'm like, oh, there's a mouse. Get new trap set. And she caught one the other day. She waited for it, and it came out at the wrong time, and she snatched it up.
How do you get rid of red squirrels? Probably.
I would try that. It was just a little mini live trap, James, that I got all these chipmunks with. And you put some non-roasted peanuts and black shell sunflower seeds in there, and I caught chipmunk after chipmunk after chipmunk.
Yeah.
And it's called the live trap, but there's a way to take the live trap and make it a dead trap. And that's what I did because I wasn't relocating these terrors.
Yeah.
I was eliminating them.
It was great when we could see the chipmunk in the trap and the dog could just stare at it and bark even more. I was like,
yeah, because if I wasn't home to deal with it, they would just wait for me.
With it. I was like,
but I would try that. I bought it off Amazon. It's a live trap. It's only like this big, and it was like $20. So I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. It worked, and I bet it will get them red squirrels too. And they're little monsters when they're in there.
Antifreeze.
The antifreeze we can't do though because we have dogs and the neighbors have dogs. And actually one of the neighbors' dogs
Hey, thanks, Will.
a few years ago died, and they said it was from either rat poison or antifreeze, which it was not ours because we don't do that because of our dogs. I won't use poisons.
I mean, he doesn't even like to have treat for like the hornets and bees. He doesn't want any of that.
Yeah. But yeah, you wait till you see these traps, John. These new ones we got, greatest thing I've ever seen.
Jordan's cat, Peanut's gonna fight Dee Dee. See, Megan has a cat, but it has to stay at her boyfriend.
Yeah, my daughter was like, I'm in college. I can do what I want. I'm going to get a
18.
cat. What a foolish decision that was. Because then she thought when she comes home for the summer, well, I got a cat. Well, we're not cat people. And so
You're
she's
not
like,
cat
what am I
people.
going to do with my cat? I said, I don't know. It's not my problem. You shouldn't have got a cat. She's like, well, I have to bring it home. No, you don't. You won't.
Our dogs are both very high.
Our dog. It
prey
will
and
not work with our dogs. It will not work with her dad, which is me.
or your
like,
brothers.
Yes. So her cat lives at her boyfriend's
Her
every
boyfriend's
summer.
family has a few dogs, but they have the big
Yeah, my dog would eat that thing up. Dee Dee would eat that thing up.
Mastiff and Great Dane mix. They have 3 of those, and they all are live in perfect harmony with that cat. They even bought her boyfriend's family bought the cat Christmas gifts. They love him.
Yeah, they can love it. They can love that cat.
He can do to get a turtle. Our boys he brings all his creatures home from college. He's got a bunch of lizards and fish.
Yeah, that's fine. Jeff says Megan should have got a turtle. A turtle's fine, just not a cat. Cats spray, they tear stuff up, they stink, they pee on your carpet. Like our dogs do too, but we
don't have any carpet for that reason.
Yeah, but cats, I'm not a cat guy. You're either a cat person or you're not, and I'm not. We could do another giveaway now.
Yes.
Let's give away. So, like I said, today we're giving away a lot of
3 Green Acres just got to 100.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Up to something outdoors. He's at like 60. Like it's, you know what? Some people think, because we just hit 25,000, which is awesome. But we remember when like we'd put a video out and oh my gosh, our video got 500 views. Our video got 1,000 views. We had a short we thought was going viral because it got a few thousand views. Like this stuff is exciting and it's fun. Like the more you grow, then obviously the bigger milestones. But those little milestones all still are
every
exciting.
milestone. It's super exciting.
Like I feel like it gets harder and harder because there's more and more content creators daily. Like, so you're always climbing. You're always climbing a slippery slope.
Well, you're always trying to come up with something no
Right.
one else has done.
Yeah, I try to keep it fresh,
Which is
try
hard,
to keep it
the
new.
more people out there.
But it is like it's still exciting when, like I said, I remember getting close to 100, and you're like, oh man, and then the 1,000 when you can 1,000 and 4,000 when you can monetize, like that's awesome. Like don't think that we don't understand how exciting it is when you hit lower numbers because we've hit a bigger number, because we still know like there's a million channels way bigger than us, and we still feel like we're just whatever. But it's a lot of fun, and just keep grinding and enjoy the process. And sometimes it goes faster than expected. I didn't think I'd ever see 25,000, and here we are, like because of Rachel. But anyway, and not everyone has a Rachel, but like just it's fun, enjoy it, don't get too serious about it, and just have fun with it, I guess. But we're giving away stuff that we like, that we use, that we believe in. And another thing that if you watch the channel, I use constantly, and I actually talked to the owner the other day for quite a while and learned a lot about the product, and it's Strike Hold. That is the best thing in a bottle I've ever bought. Strike Hold, it's a CLP, cleaner lubricant protectant. Like, it's just awesome.
I mean, I even say all the time, if something's not working just right, I'm like, can you get that Strike Hold? Because it really is amazing.
It dries to like a smooth, slick film. It penetrates rust. It helps reduce or eliminate rust. It, like my ramps on my trailer, they're heavy. And when you try to slide them, they don't want to slide. You grab them and they make noise in their heart. With strike hold, you can literally push them with one finger. It's insane. And eventually you have to reapply it because of weather and whatever. But that stuff's awesome. So I'm going to send a bottle straight to somebody. And it's going to be the first person that answers this question correctly on our screen, because sometimes, like we mentioned earlier, they're a little bit different. So the question is, what jack did we recently review? What was the jack that we recently reviewed?
What was the name of the jack?
Tim Stout with the tank.
Are you on the tank? Tank Tough?
It's the... So Tim, we'll get you and Gator outside, Tank Tough. So we'll do both of you, Tim Stout and Gator outside. I like giving stuff away, so... Because I didn't say it had to be the perfect name.
Jimbo says Harbor Freight Tank.
It wasn't Harbor Freight. It was O'Reilly's. It was the O'Reilly's Tank Tough Jack. So Tim Stout and Gator outside. We'll send you guys both a bottle. Email,
hardworkingmanoutdoors@gmail.com.
And you're going to love it. And I apologize because you're going to keep buying it after you get a free bottle.
It's great stuff.
And we have a link for them too. And if you use code HWM10, you get free shipping, which is cool because shipping costs a lot these days.
Yes, I don't care. It's so funny. It's like one of those mind things where I'm like, if something costs $5 more, but it's free shipping, I'll buy it because I don't like to see the shipping cost in my tally. I just want to know, like, is it worth this $1? Don't add on anything extra.
Dick, enjoy your family. Thank you for the 25K. And if you guys haven't checked out Old Guy Firewood, which I'm sure most of you have, check him out. He's old, and he does a great job making firewood, doing other stuff.
Family.
He got a firewood processor. We hang out with him. We've got him. He's been in some stories. He's a lot of fun. So go enjoy the family. That's what it's all about. We just thought, you know what? Let's do this live today. A lot of people will be off work, and
Well, lucky for you, Tim, you're going to get your own bottle. You don't have to think anymore. It's coming.
And let me know if you guys get this stuff that I love. I would appreciate feedback when you get it. If you're like, what's wrong with you? This stuff sucks. Then let me know. But if you love it and you're like, oh my gosh, like, let me know. Because we
have been hearing tons of people in comments talking about those socks.
The Camel, yeah. So everyone's been
really good, because you never know. Just because we love it doesn't mean it'll translate to other people.
But I will say, like, that strike hold, I don't know, because like I said, I talked to the owner the other day. Because as I learn products and whatever, I like to learn about the owner, about the business, about who runs it. So I talked to him, and I've used it, and they sent me a bottle and a can, and I bought several of my own bottles since. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me see, talk to this guy. So I called, and I actually got a hold of the owner, talked to him, like I said, for over an hour. And just, you get to know these people and how they got into the business, or how they learned about it, or how they're doing it, and who they are. And like, they're doing some stuff, like they're doing a calendar, I believe, right now, that is all of the proceeds from it are going to fight human trafficking, which is, that's important. That's a big thing, especially over these last few years. Unfortunately, a lot of the kids who have been caught up in some of this immigration and whatnot, a lot of them, unfortunately, have a chance of ending up in human trafficking. And so, like, him and his wife decided they want to help. So they do, you learn about these people and about who they are and how they work and all of that. And so, like I was saying, I don't know what he told me that's public knowledge, but I learned a lot about the strike hold product and where it came from and how it works and all of that. And let's just say that some of the most elite forces in America use this stuff. Like, some of the ones that are who people would consider the most badass use this. And I can see why, and they use it on their weapon platforms. So you can trust it, you can use it. And he said, if you need your weapon to work in a time when it's most crucial, it's going to work. And that's why they use it. So I'm not making it up when I say this stuff's awesome.
Rusty Garage and Homestead, welcome. Thank you.
That's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
I believe. I'm real bad with names, especially right now when I'm thinking of it. Is too. But thank you.
And thank you, Club Dora.
That's Alan. I'm going to say names and I'm going to get one wrong now.
Jeff wants to know, do they have different kind of lubes?
So they have a spray bottle, they have an aerosol can, and then they have a marine grade, which I asked them about because I was curious, because there are, like I said, on my trailer, I don't make stuff up. When I tell you stuff, I tell you what's good and what's bad. And it's not necessarily bad. But when I spray my trailer ramps where it slides, you have to reapply it from time to time. And so they have a marine grade. And I was like, is that going to hold up to the weather better so I don't have to apply it as much? And he said, he's like, it's very slight differences, but they haven't, through their testing, they haven't noticed a big difference. So he's like, there's slight differences, but he would say that it's not going to be a huge difference in that regard. It's just so that people understand it can be used in the marine application. So there's not really, I guess there are different formulations, but they're not much different, if that makes sense. And that's only, I know from talking to the owner.
So the elite teams, James wants to know, are you talking about the hardworking men?
They're an elite team, but they weren't elite the other day.
They're just sneaky.
lackadaisical.
They just, they don't want to give everything they have right away.
No, they wanted to.
You generally mix up BGW Enterprises state that he lives in.
Washington.
Is that right? Net Zero Firewood. Thank you.
It's got to be Washington. He drove to Washington to
Who's
your firewood
either
from
that
Washington?
Or Oregon.
Oh, it could be. It's going to be Washington, though. You're going to move to Washington.
You are now from Washington if you weren't. Aha! I'm right. You're wrong.
See? I get stuff wrong a lot.
Pay attention. He doesn't.
I do it on purpose, though, so that you know that I know, but you don't know that I know.
Oh, that's too funny.
Steven Reiner. So, been using marine fuel. And so, Steven, the marine fuel, the wreck fuel, that stuff's awesome. Yeah. But you keep saying that you said something sometime that you thought you offended me, and you didn't. I don't get offended easily. But I don't even remember what it was. I do think after some of your comments, it might have been something about having debt or whatnot. But it doesn't. Not everyone thinks the same. Not everyone.
He doesn't even.
I'm not always right.
When people tell him he's an idiot, he doesn't even get offended by that.
But you didn't. I love all the comments. So like, there's some people that comment on almost every video, and Steven's one of them, and I love it. Like I feel like we get to know these people. But even. Yeah, I'm wrong. I get stuff wrong. I won't always be right. And what I think is right or what I think is the way to do something isn't going to be for everyone. And what you think might not be for, like, there's different ways to do stuff. If everyone was the same and everyone, like, life would be boring. That's what I love about firewood, because there's 10 million ways to do it. And there can be 10 million right ways to do it.
Dress the elite team on wrestling tights.
What's that?
Oh, Jimbo. They're not going to wear their singlets out there.
They won't. But, yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Have I managed to get the entire load of oak split? No, not at all, because this is part of my problem.
It's a process.
I have an idea of how I want to do it and where I want to put it, and I can't put it there because it's not ready yet. And I'm getting a new grapple, and I haven't got the new grapple yet. And I want to use the new grapple, but I might not be able to wait for the new grapple. But regardless of all of that, I need to get the area set up of where I want to put it. And with me continually adding new projects, I haven't got that done. And not only is it not done, but I also now ordered 20 quart of ash. That's not done because I haven't even got it yet. Yeah, I did. It's an investment.
I didn't know this.
I'm pretty sure I told you. She doesn't listen to me a lot when I tell her stuff. But so no, it's not. But it will. With that Dina, it won't take long once I have the area prepared. The area preparation is because that tree I showed the other day, that's one of the ones that I need to get down, and so that's in the way. So that one, I don't know. I know how. I'm going to call the power company. But if they can't do it fast or won't do it at all, I'm going to figure it out. And a girl I work with, her brother has ropes. So I'm going to get those ropes. And if I die, there could be an opening on Hardworking Man that somebody could step into and fill my shoes. Because there will be one last episode with me in it, and then someone else will have to take the reins.
Gosh, was I mad about the mud and the grass?
Rachel doesn't get mad about much because I've conditioned her to know that this is who I am.
I have very low standards for this guy. Very low.
Well, I have a sweet yard roller that we could use next spring.
Where did you even? Was it up in by those totes in the front? I did see the ruts, but I was like, eh. I mean,
we live in the country.
I don't really mow. I only care about the ruts when it comes to me mowing the lawn come summer because he doesn't repair what he.
But we have sweet mowers now with suspension, so you don't even
when
care.
you rutted up the backyard, got your truck stuck.
You got my truck stuck.
I didn't drive back there.
Okay, I got it stuck, and you spun when I was getting it unstuck.
Yeah, but anyways, that he didn't fix it, so it was like awful to drive over in the spring. Because it was one of those going to fix it when the ground is still mushy, and the next thing you know, it's too hard, and then it's just like.
So we were going to also do our back patio, our back flower garden, and redo that whole thing, and our front landscape because we have another open house because we have tons of kids. Because Rachel finds me irresistible, and so we have lots of kids, and they have open houses when they get older, and so we didn't get any. I had full intentions to have amazingness. And I didn't get it done. But there's still time because we're having a mild winter.
Yeah, so basically.
I bought a backhoe for my tractor, and I've only used it 2 times. I've wanted a backhoe for years.
Used it more than 2
No, I didn't. We dug the water hole for the deer.
And then here?
And then back there.
That's it?
That's it. And I've been wanting to dig since I've owned that thing for months.
He has. He wants to dig out lots of trees and stumps.
Rich, do we ever worry about the ash borer? We don't. Because Michigan was like ground zero for the ash borer, so all of our ash trees have been dead for years, and they're mostly rotten now. That's why I'm excited. This guy says he can get me a full 20 cord load of ash, and if it's not rotten, that's because ash is ready quick or ready now, and that's what I need.
Yeah, no, they're not going to ask for the Dina back, I don't think, James. I think we'll be able to get it processed in time.
Well, we may be getting another model later when it's ready. So our Dina was a prototype. It is one of the very first ones that they ever made with the rapid split. And so we got to test it and tell them what we liked or didn't like. And then they're going to incorporate some of that stuff in models moving forward. And there really weren't many issues we had with it. The one was, which I don't know that we've ever mentioned, but you've seen it sometimes when the rapid split doesn't go all the way. So the slotting that the handle moves in wasn't cut wide enough because for the rapid split, there's a wire. And in previous models without the wire, they use the same slotting. But before I even figured it out, so it rubbed and it wore through. Before I even figured it out, they figured it out on their own. And I told them, and they're like, yep, we already opened up that slot, so that doesn't happen. So like it was sort of a prototype that we could test. And I think we'll, because we did give them some feedback and, we've talked about it. Everything that we've told them, we've talked about on the channel, like the tipper tray, I think would be big or a better way to hold those shorter pieces. Some people on here have said, and we're going to do it like Marco, because we do 16-inch. So mark a 32-inch spot so you can cut the cookie off when it's 32 plus inches long instead of trying to do it at shorter, so some stuff like that. But that was a prototype, and I think we'll get to use that until we get another prototype to try. I could be wrong, but I think we will. Jeff, I got some D-Light. It's where did I say it's from? The Atwater Brewery here in Michigan. And Rachel's got some rum chata, but it's gone.
Somebody drank it all.
So Alan's asking so I'm for deliveries a lot of what I have to pay because if I'm outside of the logging range, I guess, you got to pay extra for delivery. So for a 20 cord of poles or firewood, it's going to cost me $2,800. which most people say you'll get about 16 to 17 cord of split wood out of that. So, I mean, I'll do good by the time it's done and sold, but I know it's cheaper some places and more some places. So that's $2,800 for delivery to my up north property. It would be another $500 to get it delivered to my home. So I was going to get it delivered up there. But that's where the Dina's going soon, because once that yard hopefully freezes, I've got a lot of logs to process there anyways.
Yes. We've had it up there. It tows nice.
Yeah. Oh, what do we got?
2002 is when the ash borer hit.
Yeah, it's been a while. We still have some ash that's good, and there's some I can't wait to get. Like a big, huge ash tree just came down this fall, but when it's hunting season, I don't go into my 40 acres for wood. I also am going to take down a bunch of live trees, because my ultimate goal up there is wildlife habitat. And so like mature pines are no good for me up there. I don't have a sawmill. I'm going to save some of the nicer ones because Rachel wants me to get a sawmill. So I want to save some of the nicer saw logs. I'll keep them standing. But anything that's not a real nice saw log, if it's pine, and it's like, when I say pine, it's like red pine. So it's just a tree trunk and needles way up top. I'm going to try to get down as many of them as I can this year and turn them into campfire wood. Like Phil and Karen, they do lots of pine. That stuff dries quick. It burns good. People like it for campfire wood.
Russ still has all healthy ash in Maine.
It probably won't be for long because that little bug's going to get them.
Thank you, Jeff. Congrats on your 25K, and I hope your next log splitter has an auto cycle valve on it.
We did always. So I didn't know when I got that all wood, I always wanted to add auto cycle to it, because when I got it, we didn't know if we wanted. I never had auto cycle. I had Old Blue. It was automatically super slow. It was 22 seconds down and back, and it was an auto cycle. And I was like, man, you don't need auto cycle if you got a 4-second cycle time. And with the kids running it, and I'm like, I don't think I want auto cycle. Well, once I learned more about it and didn't have it, then I wanted it. And once you get used to 4 seconds, it sounds crazy. And Russ, he had the same, a muscle wood it's a 4-second cycle time, and it doesn't slow down a lot with wood in it usually. And when you first get it, you're like, poof, that's insane. But once you get used to it, and Rachel will probably attest to the same thing, it doesn't seem as fast anymore.
Right.
So that's why people want 3 seconds or 2 seconds, or like, it's just the auto cycle. And we've showed it in some of our splitter wars where we would run it against a machine with auto cycle that wasn't as fast, but the auto cycle machine would compete with or beat the all wood without auto cycle, because it frees you up to do the next thing.
Yes. Oh, Trees to Firewood thinks that's too much money for those ash logs.
Hey, you're in Michigan. It's tough to get anything. Like,
well, someone in Gaylord, Grayling.
Yeah, up north
for 20 cords.
It's way cheaper up there, but the trucking is what costs to get it down here. The closer to Detroit and the further south you get, the more wood costs. Like it gets, some people are nuts with their prices, but people still buy it. So I don't know. I'll try it once and see what happens. I won't lose. I might not make as much as I want, but I think I'll be okay. So the young ash, we do have young ash because the borer doesn't get to them till they're a little bigger. So there's still live ash trees here in Michigan, but they're small. All the big ones, I think, are pretty much decimated. We ready for another giveaway?
Yeah.
All right, so we're saving the biggest giveaway for last, or what I think's a pretty cool one. It's something I don't even have. But before we do that, let's give away this bad boy. Rachel said we were going to give it away. This thing, the cover I've not even used this yet, but I have one, and this is another one. It's an S-wing splitting maul. So this one I do have to limit because we got to put this bad boy in the mail. So you got to be like in the lower 48. So sorry, Canadians.
Uh-oh.
It would just cost too much to ship this bad boy over to Canada. Unless you're somebody that I'm going to meet somewhere and I can bring
It's
it. Like if you're going to go to Bunyan or something, then you can win it. But if I got to ship it, this has to be lower 48. And this is an S-wing splitting maul. And I'm excited. I haven't, like I said, I got it. I've had it for a while. I got a couple of them. And I haven't even got to use it yet. But it looks pretty sweet. I love my S-wing hammers. And so I was like, I want to compare this to my X27 Fiskars and see how it stacks up. And I don't have a splitting maul. Well, I do now. But so we're going to give this one away. But that has to be lower 48. And the question for that one is, what brand box store splitter do we run on the channel? So you have to say correctly what it is. Outdoors, Jeremiah got it. Outdoors in the 608, the hyper split. That was fast.
That was fast. It's almost like you knew that question was coming.
He didn't.
I know, but how do you answer that quick?
Tim says that's manual work.
I know,
He doesn't
Kelly,
want it.
No, 51st state. You're going to be there 51st state. You're Governor Trudeau.
So Jeremiah. And that's cool because now we're going to get Jeremiah's thoughts on that because he'll run this S-Wing on his channel because he's got the 22 RS, which is a nice splitter. He's got a farm conveyor, which I have, and I'm going to start working on soon once I get the garage in order because I want to get it in there to work on it because I am going to become a welding expert. Now that I have 220 in my garage, I'm going to be welding masterpieces. Because my last welding job, remember when I tried to move my conveyor and my weld just went and went flying off. But so Jeremiah gets that S-wing maul, and we got at least one more that we're giving away later. It's going to be a chainsaw bar that it's going to be pretty cool.
You're already highly regarded in the welding community.
It is true. I got an email about a welder, and they said that I'm highly regarded in the welding community, and I think that's because my welding is awesome. Greg says this giveaway's rigged.
If you know anything about Heath, you know
I'm a grade A rule follower.
He is a grade A rule follower. He couldn't possibly rig anything.
Rachel gets mad at me because sometimes I try so they always say women like the bad boys. And so like one day, just to tell you how big of a rule follower I am, my word still means something to me. Like a lot of people in this world don't. Mine still does. But rule follower wise, we were at Home Depot and I'm a gentleman. So it was raining outside and Rachel was in the store with me. And so I said, I'll go get the car and I'll come pick you up. Just wait here so you don't have to walk out in the rain. So I get out. It's pouring. I get out to the car. There's no one else at Home Depot. The parking lot is all but empty. And I go and I follow the arrows in the parking lot to get back around to the door.
He got almost right to me and then went, oh, that's the wrong arrow. So he turned and went all the way back around the entire
because the arrow said to go that way. So I followed.
No one there.
And so I pulled up and she said, did you seriously just follow the arrows? I said, yes. And she's like, you're the only one here.
No one else is there. You're
I said, yes, but the arrows tell you to go that way. And I'm a rule follower. It's me and my Nate, my 18-year-old. He's a rule follower.
Well, Greg was just kidding.
I know you were, but I am to a fault. So sometimes now, like in a parking lot, I'll roll through a stop sign. And then I'm like, you like a bad boy, huh?
Yeah.
Like I'll roll through a stop sign in a parking lot from time to time just so she knows I'm a rebel.
Right. Yeah, that was probably one of the funniest examples. Leave me standing in the rain waiting.
No, you were under the canopy.
I was like, went to walk out because you were right there.
And no, I had to go around. The arrows were there.
And then you turned. You're like, there's the wrong way.
You got to follow them arrows. Jeff White just said hyper split. I wonder if he's got some lag.
You must.
So there's Shotla Family Firewood. I'm not sure if you just got here, but he built a conveyor that looks somewhat similar to mine. And he's got he can pivot it with his wheels. And it's pretty neat, especially he works indoors a lot. He built a little indoor kiln, like stuff like that. And I think once you get that braced up, I think you'll be able to tow it. But so it's hooked to a hitch on his splitter, and then it's got wheels on casters so he can pivot it and like fill a dump trailer without. I don't know that he's tested it yet, other than moving it, because I haven't watched YouTube in a few days because of how busy we've been. But It looks similar to mine, and it's a cool idea, and I might steal. Well, I sort of have an idea of how I might be able to incorporate that into mine once I start working on it.
I'm excited.
Rachel's always excited for my plans.
Yes.
All right, so now, and I believe I think his name's Brian, but I could be wrong. I'm not the greatest at names.
People have been talking to Brian, so I think that's.
See, I've been killing it today if I'm
You
right
are.
on that one. I coached Little League Baseball, and I would have kids on my team for 4 years, and I'm like, kid, center field. No idea who they are.
Hey, buddy.
And they could even be kids I like. I'm just not a main person.
There's just not enough room in there. Did you write down Jeremiah as a winner?
Yeah.
Okay.
I even spelled it right with a, I believe.
We have, well, Megan's boyfriend's dad's name is Jeremiah, and it's Jara. So it's like.
Yeah, that's not how you spell Jeremiah from 608.
Well, I know. That's why it's just fun. One of those things you get used to seeing somebody else's, and then you're like, wait, how does. That's obviously a different way to spell it.
My name, there's only one way to spell it, and it's wrong. No one believes what my name is.
Well, they know when they read it.
No, they add an L.
That's because they hear you. Oh, they add an L? They write down
They
Health?
make it Health or Heather. My name is Heath, like the candy bar. And people will not write down Heath. If I order a pizza, I can't even pick it up. Because I'm like, hey, I got a pizza. And they're like, what's the name? I'm like, Heath. Like when I go to a restaurant now, if they ask a name, I tell them Rachel.
See, look, you can spell it like that. Heith.
No.
There's not
I
only
just
one
tell them
way.
Rachel or Joe if I'm with my son because people refuse to write Heath. They'll either change it to Heather, Health with an L, Pete, Steve. Keith is the most common with a K. Like I literally will say Heath, Heath, and they write Heather. They're like, ain't no way nobody's named Heath.
And they're like, I have something here for Pete.
I got a Pete. I said, is it this and this and this? Yep, that's mine. Or a Steve. Like, how is Heath? Like, I'm not the only Heath. There are other Heaths like Heath Ledger and Heath Barkley. And Heath is more common as a last name than a first, I think.
Heath Barkley, like everyone knows. But that's who you were named after.
Steven, they can't. I was named after Heath Barkley from Green Acres. My mom liked him. And my sister was a huge disappointment because my mom wanted a son to name Heath. And
that is a lie.
She got a girl and had to name her Heather. So my sister's name is Heather. They wanted me first.
They wanted Heath.
They wanted Heath. No, they wanted Heath, and they got stuck with Heather.
You are lying.
Oh, it's true.
That is not the truth.
I hope Heather's not watching this. They do love you, Heather, but they wanted Heath.
Yeah, he is hardworking man. That's what everyone refers to him as now.
Yeah, literally at work, I walk in and they're like, "Hey, hardworking man."
Mm-hmm. If anybody texts me about
Big Valley, not Green Valley. I don't know. I wasn't
you
around.
said Green Acres.
Whatever it was Heath Ledger, right? Or Heath Bark. I don't know. It was Heath something.
Heath Bark.
My mom thought he was cute.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, the names I don't think I never thought my name was that awkward until no one would believe me when I told them what it was.
Well, probably because
Heath Barkley.
All through school, your name, you were have it written on your desk and people see your thing. It's pretty easy. You see kids' names, you see them written all the time, every day. So you know other people's names. So what's your oldest name that's unique? Megamite? Heidi.
Heidi. It's not Heidi.
No one gets
I could be a Heidi. Well, that might all change here on the 20th if you can be a Heidi or not. Not really, but
he likes to say stuff like that. Steve Austin. Right. You're after Steve, the Big Valley with Lee Majors. That sounds right. You guys don't have to skirt so close. They're afraid the boys just walked by.
I would.
They're afraid they're going to get on the live stream.
I can't say too much stuff about what I do at work and stuff, but I actually arrested somebody from a very famous TV show. Which that was I don't know who people are. I deal sometimes with musicians and music groups and, actors, actresses, different people. And I actually arrested somebody from an older TV show that was a very, very popular show. And it was sort of, I didn't even know who it was until later when people were like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, who? But, yeah. So that's all I can say about that.
And that's that. So, Garrig, I can see how people would have a hard time knowing what it is. You probably,
unless you said, like I said with my name, I have to say Heath, like the candy bar.
You probably have to spell it like Garrig, G-E-H.
Yeah, as a first name. Like if you say Lou Gehrig, any sports person is gonna know. But it blows my mind.
Doesn't mean they'll know how to spell it.
But you say like Lou Gehrig, like I know who that is. I like sports and whatever. It blows my mind. Kids these days, they don't know who like Barry Sanders is or who like Michael Jordan, like Scottie Pippen, like some of these huge names that we grew up with, like they have no idea. And I'm like, how you don't know who Charles Barkley is? Like, how do you not know who the worst golfer in history is with the ugliest swing ever?
They probably know some of those because
they know some of them, like Michael Jordan, maybe. But
if there's
the fact that
commentators now, they know.
But the fact that like kids that are now in high school don't know who Barry Sanders is makes me cry. It makes me cry.
Hannah Montana. Well, that would be Miley Cyrus is the actress who played her alter ego Hannah Montana on a TV show. So that's kind of funny. Miley Cyrus is.
I don't think I've ever met her.
I don't think you have, but that's.
I have to be careful because for Christmas now, and I apologize if I'm ever around any of your women, because Rachel got me this new cologne, and now I'm probably even more irresistible than ever.
Everyone got cologne.
Yeah, so like that's a new thing. So I thought in my life,
if you have teenage boys in your world, just know.
Hold up, I am 44 years old. And if you follow the show, you knew I grew up without a lot of money and without a lot of stuff. And I am 44 years old. And to this, I can tell you every bottle of cologne I've ever owned that was more than probably every bottle of cologne I've ever owned, because that was a luxury. I had a bottle of Jakar Nor, a miniature bottle of Cool Water. I had a bottle of Hugo Boss. I had a bottle of Coach.
That's it?
And that's it. And my boys, like in high school now, like cologne is like their bourbon. They're like getting all this fancy cologne and this stuff. And they're like.
They follow YouTubers that.
Yeah, but they're like.
Fragrances.
So they're like, it has hints of this and notes of that.
Notes
and I'm
of
like.
bergamot.
And so like, I just recently had a bottle of Coach because we were at a restaurant one time and the waiter smelled good. And Rachel was like, you smell so good. What is that? And he's like, Coach. Yeah. So I bought a bottle trying to steal Rachel back from this waiter. And I thought it was like $60 or something. Like that's a lot of money to me for some smelly stuff I'm going to spray on me. And the boys are like, oh my God, you have Coach? Like, that's not real. Like,
they're like, that's mid. So I had to take them. We have this.
So I just asked for Christmas. All I wanted was a bottle of cologne. And I got this stuff. It's like in Arabic. And so it's probably just a lady stealer. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to walk around in public anymore with this on.
I had to take the teenage boys. They wanted me to go with them, probably because it's like a real busy area to drive. Plus, then I bought
Steven knows everything.
Lunch.
Steven knows everything.
What do you mean?
It's like that's like when I think they smell
so
like everything he has.
We have a mall that's like an hour away through extremely.
Oh yeah, they go on trips.
Busy, like Metro Detroit traffic. Like
two-stroke is my scent of choice.
You would want to it's just he wouldn't drive there because it's awful traffic. So, but the mall has what we call the rich side and the regular side. So the rich side is all like Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton.
I seen some Balenciaga Crocs. They were like $1,000.
Yes.
The
So
ugliest,
those
nastiest things ever.
That's that side of the mall, and there is like an airwalk that connects them. But so on the rich side, they have Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, and that's where these niche fragrances, you can smell them. You can't smell them anywhere else but at the rich side stores. So
we ain't rich side people.
we have gone there and we've let them, so they can just smell them.
Winter diesel is my scent of choice.
Diesel. Your truck smells like diesel for sure. So
I don't even like
don't know.
contaminating myself during hunting season because I feel like it will get on you and the deer. Like I said, I washed my laundry in scent-free detergent. Mega Mike
knows. Look at that, $178.
I did get you some the other day just for fun, like just being an awesome guy. I bought her Ariana Grande because I was getting my hair cut at this place that Rachel's jealous of.
And he thought the lady smelled good.
Yeah, I was sniffing this lady there. I was like, what do you smell like? And it was Ariana Grande Cloud or something. So I just ordered Rachel a bottle. And that was like $70-some. Like that's a big step for me, guys. Buying this stuff you just spray and it's gone and it's just a scent.
Well, the boys are funny
not my
too.
Jam.
Because they're like, oh, this is a good winter scent. This is good for summer. This is a good everyday. This is a good, like, fancy event thing.
Jimbo says, why don't we ask the Easton Maid sniffer for? I'm scared to go around Jeremy.
Listen,
he might sniff me out.
He did say I smelled really good.
I know he did.
I bought more of that perfume.
Oh, did you now? Trying to impress Jeremy.
When we went out for dinner for my birthday, I was told.
Oh, she gets complimented everywhere.
So good. So.
And then the boys are like, I think that was because of my cologne, and it was in the area, and they always tried. These boys, they're nuts.
Jeff White, if I could pick just one zero-turn mower and only one, which would it be?
If you could pick.
If I could.
If I could, it would be the Yakta because the people behind that company, I think, are going to be top notch because it's a new company. But talking to them and learning about them and what they have, the way they build their machines, and the fact that they did such a good job on their first iteration, that would be mine.
Okay,
I'll let Rachel answer.
I think the bad boy might have a little more like the suspension because it has where your feet move with it too.
Well, it has the full suspension instead of just the seat.
Not
but Yakta has one of those.
So
we just don't have
as far as like comfort, I do like the bad boy for that. I can't stand that safety feature on the bad boy.
The parking brake.
The parking brake. I like how the Yakta, you open it, you're done. Close it, you go. Like that's so convenient because how many times do we stall out that bad boy on accident? That's just a little annoying. As far as like, I don't know, the Yakta's just kind of fun to drive around. And I feel like because of the customer service, because of their like willingness to like, hey, we'll fix anything and everything. Like now you feel like you don't have to baby it so much. Like,
well, they told me, they said, because they gave me that mower and they did not ask for, and I'm not saying I like the Yakta because they gave me a mower, because initially when I got an email from them and they're like, we're a new company. We want to give you this mower. Even though it was a zero-turn mower and we needed a mower, I was like, nah. Like, I'm very fussy on what I'll accept to even try.
Well, yeah, because it's a big, huge thing to have.
Because I'm like, what do you want? What do you want me to say? Like, if you tell me what I have to say, not going to work for me. Not gonna, like, you can say, oh, we need this shot and this shot. But I'm like, if I can't be honest, I'm not. But they literally didn't ask for it. They just saw my video about the Husqvarna mower, my experience, and they got a hold of me and they said, you are the reason we got into this market. We want to give you a mower so you never have to worry about being treated like that again. And over time, when I talked to Brody and got to know them, and they're like, you don't owe us a video. You don't have to make a video. You don't have to say anything. If you choose to put them in videos, that's awesome. The only thing they asked of me is if I ever have a problem that I let them know so that they can fix it. Like, that to me is awesome. They're like,
well,
and that was awesome. And the way, like, after I've talked to them more and learned about them and seen what they did at the expo and how they're they're doing stuff the way I would like to do stuff. And that's one of the reasons I like Easton Made, because I like the way the business is run. I don't always just like a product. I like to learn the people behind the product. And
they were given at that expo in Kentucky.
They gave away two mowers
mowers
and a bunch of money to people that were wearing their hat, or like they do. Like that is, I love giving stuff away. So that was awesome. And like I said, they didn't ask me. They said, you don't owe us anything. I don't care if you never make a video with it. And they sent me a $13,000 lawnmower because they were sick of people being treated the way I was. And that's why they got in the market. And it's a tough market to crack. It is I learned after putting my mower video out, we didn't intend to get into the lawn mowing business videos, whatever. But many YouTubers were like, that experience, that's as important to share as your positive experiences. Because I try to be more positive. I don't try to say much negative. But if I can save somebody from pain that I've gone through, I figure that is helping people as much as helping people find the good stuff.
Well, yeah.
And so they're like, you got to make that video, got to make it. So we finally did. And I think that Yakta is here to stay. I don't think they're a fraud, a flash in the pan. After talking to the people, getting to know the people, like how they do it, how they believe, the philosophy behind their company, the parent company I researched in depth, super good reviews, like stand behind their product, high quality. So I think they will. It'll be a hard market to crack because of how brand loyal people are, which we learned.
Very brand loyal.
I did not know that it was a Ford, Chevy, Dodge thing in the mower industry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that calling a commercial mower that somebody else deemed wasn't a commercial mower was a sin. I learned all of this, but I think that they are going to. It'll take some time.
The community is very particular.
It'll take some time, but I don't think they're going away.
Well, I feel like it kind of, for us to like dip our toe into this lawn mowing world, it's kind of the whole, people are perfectly content and happy with what they're running.
Until you run something else. Just
like with log splitters. People are perfectly content and happy with what they have. It's all I need. It gets the job done. I don't know what you're missing. A commercial splitter, blah, blah, blah.
Just like socks.
Until they run one and they go, whoa, that saved me so much time and energy and effort, and it was fun doing it. Like, maybe that is worth an investment. So it's kind of a similar, like, we didn't realize that was very similar.
Shibe, we do. Shibe says he loves this bad boy. That bad boy Rogue is an apps. And that company, I learned from my first buying that zero turn, the Husqvarna, which I thought was, I thought this is the last mower I'm ever going to have to buy. And there's a lot of great companies out there. But before I bought my second one, which was the bad boy, I called these companies, and when I called bad boy, I talked to someone in Arkansas, and you could tell it was someone from Arkansas. And if they didn't know the answer to my question, they transferred me to someone who did. Like, that means something. Bad boy is getting really big, which sometimes has problems and issues, but I haven't run into any. That mower's great. I just think Yakta is their goal is to do a better job than everyone else. And from what I've learned from them, I think they will in the customer service end of things, which is huge. And they build awesome. I call it's like the killdozer of mowers. That thing is built.
The broke cows, yeah.
Welcome, Dell.
The kids want us to get some goats out there.
Rachel's always wanted goats. We don't need goats. That's another animal to take care of.
I wouldn't mind goats. They'd be cute, but I don't want to take care of them. I don't want to have to get anybody to come watch our goats.
That's the worst. When we go away, we need someone to watch the dogs.
We have to travel a lot with the kids and stuff. So, and having family that lives 3 hours away, we have to travel. And having just dogs that we just went over for like one night, and I'm like, oh crap, we didn't get someone to come watch the dogs. So I couldn't really do goats unless I didn't want to leave.
And I'm like seeing names pop up for mowers. And I learned more about mowers than I knew you could even learn about them this last summer, like Hustler. Hustler makes a great mower. Hustler recently was bought out by Black & Decker, which that scares me. But from what I learned, Black & Decker basically said, Hustler, we want you to keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to interfere. You've got a good thing. So that's but sometimes when big companies buy companies or different ownership groups take over, that's what we learned happened to Husqvarna. A new ownership group in the last few years. I don't know exactly when, and I'm not an expert on all this. It's just what I've learned. Husqvarna was taken over by a new ownership group, and part of that new ownership group replaced a lot of the higher ups at Husqvarna, which were who built the Husqvarna name and brand and customer service, and they were replaced with younger college kids with degrees that said they know how to run businesses that have never run a chainsaw or a lawnmower or a piece of equipment or know how the people that run that stuff operate. And I actually had some of the people that used to work for Husqvarna or their family members reach out to me and say, look, this is what happened. This is why you're suffering through the issues. So like that stuff is, you don't know it until you have a reason to learn it. And in the archery, I'm a huge hunter. I love archery. I always try to find a brand of bow that is a smaller company, that they have pride in their customer service, their quality of product. I started shooting Bowtech years ago when they were a 2-year-old company. And then eventually Bowtech, because they did such a great job at building a great bow and great customer service, then a big company buys them out, and they still make a good bow, but it's not what it used to be. And it's not the customer service. You used to be able to call and talk to the owner if you had an issue. You can't do that anymore. And then I went to Expedition, and then the same thing happened there. And like, that's what happened. So like, say for instance, Exmark is owned by, I believe it's Toro, right? Snapper, Toro, one of them. Like I can't, but a lot of these companies have been bought or consumed by other companies. Terrible. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's irrelevant. But it's whenever a new company takes over. Bad Boy and Spartan used to be together, and they split off. Like, there's a lot. I learned more about mowers than I knew you could learn. Do you guys hear my son dying?
Yeah,
in the
they
background?
hear him.
Good night. Don't mind us doing a live.
He's in the kitchen.
Die quietly, son.
Poor guy.
No, he does not.
What's the temperature there? It is 35 degrees.
Here it's probably, yeah. It's
about to rain.
It's about to be a 40s and 50s and rain and mud.
Yeah.
Did I just ramble for too long? Are we ready to do another giveaway?
Let's do it.
So if you watch the channel just very recently, and I don't think he's here yet, Okie Woodsman. Joe from Okie Woodsman. So I watch his channel, follow him, chat with him. But he was working with sawsuppliers.com, which is a dealer of Echo chainsaws, which I really like. And they also are a dealer of Husqvarna and AFCO. And learning more about that company, they sell. So it's Steve, I believe. Again, I'm bad with names. Steve owns the company. He works with his wife. They started out of a one-stall garage. He owns a store in Wisconsin that's sort of like a Tractor Supply on steroids. They sell tons of like filters and equipment and, stuff like that. Their lawnmower dealer, but sawsuppliers.com is their online business that they're now starting. And Joe from Okie Woodsman was working with them, and I got a hold of him about a saw. And, after I got to learn about how his business started and how he runs the business and what's behind it, I was like, you know what? If I can work with someone like this, I would rather spend my money sending it to someone like this, Steve and his wife. When I talked to him for like 4 hours
at night. Long time.
And he's like, my wife at the time, she was working on staging a semi for unloading in the morning. Like, they're like us out there working. And I would rather send my money to someone like that than like, say, an Amazon or, something like that, where it's still an online business, but it's an online business run and owned by a family that works hard to get there. And their prices are awesome, and free shipping, no minimum order, and 10% off saws with my code. And we have a link or whatever, so we can make a few bucks, but that wasn't even my goal. It was if we can work together and do whatever. But one of the things I am going to be getting is a new bar, and I'm going to give one away because someone mentioned it when we asked for help on what you guys want. So this next giveaway is going to be for a Sugihara light bar, 24 inches or less. You're going to have to let us know, what saw, and it's obviously as long as it's available, and what size. And we're just going to order it and have it shipped straight to you. So it's going to be for a Sugihara light bar, which I don't even have yet, but I ordered one with my new saw that I'm getting. And if you need, like Dick from Old Guy Firewood, he said their Echo, I believe, Red Max oil is one of the best prices. And then it's free shipping, no minimum order. And with our code, you can't get 10% off everything because his margins are so low, trying to provide the best prices and free shipping. But like with chainsaws, you can get 10% off. And the price out there, like I said, is as good as they get. So another 10% off and free shipping. If you're in the market for a Husqvarna, an Echo, an FCO, it's definitely worth checking out. And upcoming videos will have links and the code and all of that. But anyway, so for a Sugihara light bar, 24 inch or under, you're going to have to let us know what saw you need it for. So whether it's the large Husqvarna or the small or the steel or whatever. So the answer we need is the brand of bar oil that I bought from sawsupplier.com. And I showed it on our video when I fell those trees to the woodyard expansion. And you have to say what brand bar oil it was. It's not Icho, James.
James just is.
It's not Echo
everything.
either, James. You're guessing. It's a brand I'd never heard of. And I'm excited to try because it's supposed to have more tactifiers and allow you to use less. And I bought 4 gallons. It was $60 for 4 gallons to my door. So $15 a gallon, which isn't expensive. It's not cheap, but if you truly can use less, cutting and cutter is close. Cut is real close. You guys are so close. You have to get the name exactly right. 3 Green Acres firewood is the closest right now. Oh, James added an S, and so did Brian. You got it's you're close. I don't know what that is. Why be normal, but it's not irascible. Cut it. Neighborly Homestead got it. Cut it bar oil. I never heard of it. I saw it on there. I wanted to try it. So Neighborly Homestead, you're going to have to shoot us an email, hardworkingmanoutdoors@gmail.com, and let us know what size bar and for what platform. Steel large, steel small, Husqvarna large, small, whatever it is, as long as they have it. And then we'll obviously need to get your address. We're going to get that shipped straight to you. So that was Neighborly Homestead.
Congratulations. All those guesses, James, and none of them were right.
You just got to watch Hardworking Man and memorize everything that we do.
Well,
have you used that oil? I have not. I have you run it through a couple of saws, like a couple of tanks, I guess you could say. And I haven't like when reading about it and seeing it says that it has more tactifier. And I'm going to do some testing here the best I can. But it says you can use less. So even though it costs a little more than, say, your Tractor Supply oil, it's still a lot cheaper than your steel oil or your Husqvarna oil. And if you truly can use less, then it might be as cheap or cheaper depending on cost per use. I have to go to the bathroom a minute. You guys are stuck with Rachel.
No.
I'll be back. And I'm excited to try a Sugihara bar because I don't have one yet. I do really like.
You got enough room there?
No, I got my double chin all popping in there. I have some DG titanium bars, which aren't light, but I love them.
Well, he bought 4 gallons last year in Boonville for $40.
I have a Sumara that I like.
Apparently they're at Boonville.
Were they? Did he run the regular blend or the winter blend?
What do I need to do with the dog?
She keeps whining. Did you run the regular blend or the winter blend? Oh, now that he's gone. They can hear you. Oh, Zach's going to
Zach's popping in. This is the super excitable, hardworking Zach that was thrilled to be working the other day. They called you lazy as a coon.
Because you don't pay us enough.
You should be just happy to work.
They do get paid. What do you get paid for a video?
30% if I film it.
That seems pretty good. Canada gets taxed 60% just to live. You're getting paid 30%. So they could hear you all having a good time.
Yeah, they won't settle down. I'm just trying to watch the game.
Will said, sounds like the boys are having a good time.
Yeah.
Nathan's dying in the kitchen. He came down to join us in the kitchen and cough for all to hear. The younger, better looking Heath. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah.
We were talking about fragrances earlier. They didn't know. Somebody asked if you even shave yet. He has a mustache, but he doesn't shave it yet. The other boys definitely.
Should have got me a razor for Christmas. I got on hair too.
No, you're pretty sure he's probably got. We haven't taken him to the doctor yet. Most likely he has COVID since it's going around, or pneumonia. Walking pneumonia is also going around. So we're probably going to have to take him in tomorrow.
Yeah, the dishes are done. I didn't do them.
He did not do them.
No,
I did them. I don't know. I don't know where Dad went.
To the bathroom?
Upstairs?
Yeah, someone's in this one down here. The door's locked.
Buckley's Cough Med. Yeah, I don't really know what that is.
What were you asking me? You're staying there a minute. I got to do a couple things on here. I'm going to put a...
No, you don't get to just go off.
Let's put a link on our thing.
Good channel, baby.
There goes that. Can you believe that's my baby? He is the biggest one, the tallest one, but the skinniest one.
Yeah, he grew like 10 inches this year.
He's got all sorts of 2 different humidifiers in his room. Where he's doing albuterol, breathing machine treatments, steam showers, cough medicine. I don't know. I think he's just got to run its course. He has had a fever too, which is why I say it could maybe be pneumonia, but works in minutes. Yeah, we need something to work because if you have been listening, his cough is not great. He's supposed to go to wrestling practice tomorrow morning, but Mom said no. Coach says if you're sick, you show up to practice anyway. And I say that's how everyone gets sick. Why would we do that? But wrestling practice isn't any fun, so you get kids who will fake sick so they don't have to go to practice. So Coach doesn't really know. Are you really sick? Are you not? He's like, show up. Oh, it shut down your dad's kidneys. Don't tell me that. He won't drink tea, but he will squirt honey. Nate will? They say tea and honey. Why, hello.
There's a link for sawsuppliers.com that I just posted.
Stores don't have it. Buckley's. I'll have to look that up. We'll make some hot tea, Nate.
And HWM10 is our code.
Shot or 2 of Yukon Jack. No. Nathan's also an extreme rule follower. He would not do that. He's only 18, and that's not legal.
Whiskey.
Can you sit down?
Give me a second. I'm giving them links if they want them. I did the Saw Suppliers link. They sell everything.
Well, Big Blue, you missed all of our giveaways. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. But thank you for joining us anyways.
We're still cool to hang out with.
It's been 2 hours.
All right, I just posted some links like a tech expert.
Huh. How come I've never heard of this? Is this a Canadian thing?
What?
Buckley's Cough Med.
It might be Canadian. They have
Thanks,
coding
Rob.
and stuff in their stuff. We can't have it. Yeah, we might have to take him to the doctor or to the emergency room tomorrow. We're not emergency room or doctor people, but when I had COVID, and no doctors when I called and I'm like, I have pneumonia from COVID, and doctors are like, you have COVID? I'm like, yeah. They're like, don't come to my office. Like, this was a few years ago when everyone.
I think it was
But
just
I'm like,
2 years ago. Though.
One of the hardest things about having COVID was nobody would treat me or do anything. And I'm like, I have pneumonia. Like, I knew I had it. And my doctor is like, go to the emergency room. And I'm like, why wouldn't I go to my doctor? That's your job. And they're like, don't come here. We won't let you in. And I'm like, what the heck, So anyway, I finally broke down and I went to the emergency room at a local hospital that a lot of people around here don't really like, but that's where Zach was born. And that was a great experience. We've gone there for a few things and it's been great. And when I went there, once I got past the lady at the door, so I showed up with my mask on, and she says, have you been in contact with anyone with COVID in the last 7 days? And I said, I have COVID. And she said, you have COVID? I was like, yeah. And she goes, put a mask on. I said, I have a mask on. And she said, put another one on. So I had to put a second mask on. And she's like, why are you here? And I said, because I have COVID, I have pneumonia, and I need help. And so once I got past her, it was literally the greatest experience I've ever had at a hospital or a doctor. So they were like, all right, they did a chest x-ray. They're like, you have pneumonia. I said, yeah, I know I do. I've been trying to get help for a couple weeks now, and yada, yada, yada. They gave me the medicine. I started getting better right away, like whatever. But so that is now where I might take Nate tomorrow if he needs to go, because they did an awesome job. And when I took him there the other day, because he had a strained abdominal wall muscle, but he was in excruciating pain for a day or two. And we wanted to make sure it wasn't an appendix because it was in the same area, and they were great. So we're not big doctor people or, oh my gosh, my kid has a hangnail, we're going to take him. Usually if our kid has a broken bone, it's a day or two before we take him in, because we're like, you're fine, get over it, see you in the morning. And after a day or two, you're like, I think they might be really hurt, like they're still not using that leg. And the bone's sticking out of the skin, so then we take them in.
You make it sound like we're negligent.
We're not negligent.
That's not true.
I added a little to that story.
You added a lot to that story. But no, hopefully we will get him taken care of. Yeah, rub some dirt on it.
That's the type of. I see these parents who are just freak out about everything, and I'm like, their kids are resilient.
Well, that's my mom is like that. My mom, if I tell her I had a runny nose, she'd be like,
"Did you go to the emergency room?" Like, no,
doctor.
I did.
I'm like, I don't need to. I'll just treat at home. A lot of things, most viruses, you just need to treat at home. Even though you're miserable, you just need to treat at home. But
James, we haven't finished the kitchen. We started the kitchen. It is officially under construction.
For how long? No one knows. But it is under construction.
Till it's done. I got a hired laborer.
Yeah.
I'm actually trading some firewood for part of my payment, so that's cool.
The ash or the oak?
A load, a dump trailer load full. I might trade him a chainsaw too, because I have extras and he needs one because he blew his up. A state project. It's probably going to be run similarly.
You do work.
It will be delayed.
Yeah. You have worked in the government and learned efficiency through their systems. So.
No, not green. He didn't want the green, James. I tried to pop. I was like, he has a boiler too. It'll burn. You can burn that stuff. And I was like, I got a dump trailer load of green oak. He's like, I'd rather have ash. I'll give you a deal.
I mean, that's a big step. That is a big step for him to pay somebody to come out here.
It is a big step. I don't pay many people.
He doesn't even pay for pizza delivery because that's too expensive.
No, but sometimes when I'm out of town, they get the pizza delivered.
It is at the bottom.
I didn't know pizza delivery wasn't a thing when I was a kid. That costs way too much.
Our parents still won't pay for pizza delivery. They'll go drive 15 minutes to pick it up and back.
They won't even buy pizza for us.
It is. Is it cheaper? I guess it depends on how far you're driving and what vehicle and the price of gas. I feel like it's like a $5 charge for pizza to be delivered.
I mean, sometimes you do have to do the math on the gas depending on what you drive. And sometimes stuff, but I am a tipper also because I will, if you do a okay job, I will tip you as if you did a great job. And if you do a great job, I'll tip you even better. And if I go out to eat with Don Scheib, I will tip every waitress with all of his money until he quits giving it to me. That was at Who's Your Firewood Hysteria last year. Who was all there?
There was a lot of people.
Don Scheib, Chris from In the Woodyard, Bert's Custom Cuts. There was a bunch of us there, and we were a bit loud, and we had the table behind us decided they no longer wanted to eat by us, so they picked up their dinner halfway through and left, and we had felt bad. And so I had asked, they had a different waitress than us. And I said, what, did they leave because of us? And she didn't want to tell us, but Rachel pays attention to this stuff. So she knew they did. And I said, did they at least tip you well? And she's like, no, they tipped me terribly. And she helped them move all of their stuff. So I said, Scheib, give me $20. And I just yelled at him. He handed it to me and I gave it to her. And then another waitress came up and was like, I got a 3-week-old. And I was like, Scheib, give me $20. And I just gave it to her. And then our waitress was like, I got this. And so we just kept giving him Scheib's money.
He's like, why am I
giving
you money?
Why do I have to keep paying the money? I said, I don't know. I just keep yelling it out and you keep handing it to me. And so we were pretty popular. We had a whole crew of waitresses that were hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun.
You're a good man, Don.
Yes, he's a lot of fun. And then he left his phone unlocked, so we went and took pictures all through the restaurant.
Inside of everybody's mouth.
Yeah, I don't know why, because why not? I believe he still probably has
Probably.
them.
I think Todd's outside again, and Jeremiah 608. They're inside of their mouths. We're taking pictures of.
Just some random women that were eating. They joined in the fun.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like antibiotics.
No, we're not big fans of antibiotics. Sometimes you need them, but, well, I guess they say you need them. Not a big fan of medicine in general. Just like ibuprofen.
I do like some ibuprofen. Though Nathan's girlfriend doesn't want him taking ibuprofen. She said it's going to cause liver damage.
Your mom's worried about that.
That's with her Norco.
Yeah, BGW drive. Is that a Prius you have? He had a Prius with a trailer with 8 chainsaws on it and a bunch of gas cans. I believe it was a Prius, if I'm not mistaken. Tom's Firewood, happy holidays. Yeah, you can't take too much ibuprofen.
Well, yeah. I'm like, we very much limit it until it's a
Why
necessity.
are our eyes so far apart? He wants to know.
I think that's a joke.
Oh. I thought we had really wide eyes. I'd rather have wide eyes than beady eyes.
I think that fetal alcohol syndrome people have wide eyes.
Oh, maybe we have that.
I don't. Don't say we.
I'd rather have wide eyes than beady eyes. We know somebody with some little beady eyes and we don't like them.
It's not in the wood community. It was a Prius from Oregon. Not
From
Washington
Oregon,
State.
not Washington State, but they're way over there on the northwest coast.
Yeah.
Ish.
I want to visit there.
I took you there to the Redwood Forest.
I haven't gone.
That was in Northern
California.
It's right there. It's all the same.
I wasn't
Liberals
on
and
the
big trees.
coast. We were on the inside. Good day from Grand Rapids.
You know what? Somebody commented on our last video from Wayland.
They did.
That's where I grew up. And I don't know if they knew that or if they knew me.
How's the weather in
or
Grand
if they
Rapids?
just happened to be where I grew up.
We have to travel to Holland on Saturday. Hopefully not snowy. When we were leaving on Monday from Grand Rapids to the east side, it was actually the opposite, where the weather was perfectly fine there. And then as we traveled further east, it got ice and snow, like accumulation. Usually it's the opposite. Like second we like, you get like 20 minutes just outside and then you're good
So
to
people
go.
don't, a lot of people don't, just like if you live in Maryland, you don't know that there's winter diesel apparently. People in Michigan don't understand the difference from the west side of the state to the east side of the state is absolutely insane when it comes to a typical winter.
Well, because you don't give the lake effect snow.
Yeah,
off
but if
Lake
you
Michigan,
don't live
credit.
here, you don't know that. So we grew up on the west side of the state. So I didn't know that the east side of the state was totally different
We
until.
didn't know.
So it's
No one
nothing for
travels
us.
over here. It's not pretty.
It's nothing for us on the west side of the state to get a foot or 2 feet of snow overnight or in one storm. And then, so I'm at home and I got 2.5 feet of snow in the yard. You haven't seen the grass in a couple months. And then I come over to the east side of the state when I was in the Air Force for drill weekend, and there's still green grass. And I was like, what in the heck? Like, why is there no snow over here? Well, it's the lake effect. That weather coming across Lake Michigan just dumps that snow. And then on the east side, by the time it gets here, it's not there. So most winters are way worse on the west side than the east side. And it would be to the fact that I'd go to a drill weekend. So I'd be gone for 2 days or 3. And when I got with no snow, none, green grass. And when I'd get back home, I would have to park in the road and get out and shovel the driveway just to get into it because there'd be 3 feet of snow on the driveway.
So it's dicey when you travel like in the winter for Christmas. We never know if we're going to get stuck in a nasty snowstorm over there because it just happens overnight. The armpit of Michigan. I agree with you. It is. They probably have more sex offender registers per mile radius right in that town than anywhere else in the state.
I think a lot of towns have a lot.
Look it up. We were looking it up, and it was astounding.
Ever since I left, it's gone downhill, Nicholas. I'll give you that.
Are you leaving? Bye. You don't want to say hi?
No. The boiler is awesome. The heat from it and the hot water is awesome. It does eat wood because it's the old style, but I throw junk in there. So it eats
twice
more.
a day.
It eats more wood because we're burning low quality wood. So it's, it's not getting great heat factors out of punky wet wood as if we put in dry seasoned wood. So like now I have a tote of some non-seasoned black locust out there that's semi-seasoned, I guess you could say. And then when I throw it in with, say, some rotten, punky, wet wood, I throw a couple of pieces of the locust or the oak that's seasoned or semi-seasoned in there, and the junk wood on top, and the better wood burns and lights the other wood and makes it burn. So we could be putting less wood in if we put better wood in. But the reason I have that boiler is to burn the junk wood. We don't have a bypass. We got the old style. So there's no bypass. It's just turn the fan on or off and let her eat.
Let her eat.
My real job, Nicholas, I work in law enforcement. I don't say exactly what I do, but I work in law enforcement for another 5 years, and then I'm going to retire, hopefully, because Rachel's going to take care of me, my sugar mama. Right?
Of course.
Thank
I
you.
take care of you now. Just call me Jill. Jill Biden.
Oh, geez. She calls me Joe Biden all the time because my brain doesn't work great some days. I don't know if you can say that on here.
I don't know.
Sometimes I don't.
Somebody might not like that, but that's okay. You don't live with him. I do.
I think it's quite the insult.
It is. Your mom thought it was quite an insult when she heard. Sorry. Yeah, full-time firewood. Police are security.
Yeah, she thinks it's funny. She thinks it's very funny. But I don't. It seems mean.
It's not funny. It literally is used when there's a similarity.
Here's what happened. I used to be even smarter and better looking than I am now. But I was in the Air Force and I worked almost exclusively with jet fuel, JP8. And the government liked to tell us that JP8 was safe. I literally watched training videos where they would throw lit cigarettes into puddles of JP8 to show us how safe it was. And guys would stick their heads down into big, huge fuel reservoirs full of JP8, saying how nice it was, how safe it is, and how, meanwhile, this entire time, they have known that JP8, that a one-time limited exposure to JP8 can cause irreversible brain damage. I literally crawled in the fuel tanks. I put hundreds of thousands of gallons of this stuff on jets. I wore this stuff. I stood in the exhaust of this stuff. And apparently it damages your brain. So my brain now has been taken down a few notches to regular. But sometimes less than regular. Like, say, for instance, at night when I'm sleeping, my brain forgets to tell my body to breathe. So I just quit breathing altogether.
There's this look in his eyes he gets. So Jeff's not far off. He says, when he realizes you don't know people, you get this crazy thing going on. He gets a look in his eyes that I'm one of the few that recognize it. And I'm like, he has not a clue what's happening right now. Not a clue.
Sometimes I do know, and sometimes I don't. But anyways.
And then I am his handler, legit, and help him.
Nicholas, it could have been. I don't know if actually the SR-71 was probably JP4, which I believe did the same stuff. So JP4 was, I guess, a previous version to JP8. There's some other, they call it different stuff in different branches of services, but in the Air Force, It was JP8. And I literally lived in that stuff. Like I said, I would be covered in it. I climbed in the fuel tanks. We would stand in the exhaust of the generators, which ran off JP8 in the winter to keep warm. And the exhaust, like I said, a one-time exposure to the exhaust can cause damage. And that's like where we would hang out trying to stay warm. At least you
weren't in it for 20 years. You only had 6
but it
years,
definitely changed.
It
definitely changed some stuff.
It's not just normal aging. That's what people are like. Oh, welcome. It's good thing you're old. Or it's like, it's not just normal. There's other things that also
Bill says moonshine will fix it. Moonshine probably makes me think it's fixed, but I don't know that it fixes it.
You might be onto something, Bill.
But so that's why she calls me that, because I'm not as good as I once was.
Extreme instances he earns it.
I do have not bright shining moments.
Sometimes there's moments, and I'm like, this must be what it's like to live with Joe Biden. Sarge says you're a dog catcher. You guys work together.
Yeah, Sarge is a dog catcher as well.
I thought you were a cougar catcher, Sarge.
He's a cougar magnet. We know a cougar. We work with a cougar. She caught herself a young little prey. She made him wear matching pajamas.
Oh, stop.
That's true.
I feel bad for any of the women that work with you. That's the honest truth.
Because they can't have me?
Mm-hmm. Just every day, they just look at what's out of reach.
Yeah, they're like, man, how did someone else catch him? Good night, Nicholas.
President Musk. I know. He's not an elected official.
President Musk. So I don't know if any of you guys, I'm sure some of you have, but if you watch Joe Rogan, like I've watched the Joe Rogan interviews with Donald Trump, with Elon Musk, and a couple other ones. And like Elon Musk is a very interesting individual. I think he...
Did you watch the JD Vance one or no?
Yes, the JD Vance one. Like there were some... I think he can do some good things. I think Elon Musk can do some good things. But I'm not 100% sold Like, I like him. Believe me, I think we're headed in a better direction.
He's the first buddy right now.
He is. But he also, you have to keep in mind that most people that are successful in business, like he has been, have also failed extremely hard in business, which he, I believe, has. Like, so not everything is roses and sunshine. Like, even I failed once. Like, anyone can fail. No, I failed a lot. But a lot of people who are successful in business fail. So hopefully he's got his failing out of the way because we need some wins.
We do need some wins.
Yes, Jeff Squirrel. That gets me a lot. I bet Elon Musk is very similar.
We were just at my mom's house and we asked you to do something and no one could find you. And I said, he probably found something shiny. And there he is. No one knew where he had gone.
Yeah, I don't know where I was.
No one does. And then you appear.
Yeah, JP5 is the Navy jets. Like I said, there's different names for different branches of service, but I think a lot of it, it's the burn pits. So the burn pits, I believe, use JP8, or the fuel that was in the burn pits that caused all the issues. That's what I lived in. I used it as Cologne. What is that noise?
It's our power pack.
Oh, man. My hearing's bad, too. Unless it's a beep from a Nextel. Who remembers the old Nextels? I could hear those things from a mile away.
Hi, James. Merry Christmas. Well, it's not that you have bad hearing. You just don't always know what you're hearing.
It's so I have what's called auditory processing disorder, which is caused by jet fuel. So my ears actually receive the sound correctly, but in the route from my eardrum to my brain, it gets scrambled. So if there's background noise, I'm useless. I might as well not be there.
So it appears as if he doesn't know that he can't hear you, but he can.
And I hear the wrong words. Well, I hear the correct word, but my brain determines the wrong word.
He knows you're speaking. He's fully able to be aware that there is sound coming out of your mouth.
But I have to hyper focus.
But he doesn't quite know what it's saying.
So if there's background noise, like there's some funny examples. It's not really funny, but there's nothing I can do about it. So like we were somewhere and I ordered some food and the person that was taking my order asked me for here to go. And the only reason I know this is because Rachel heard them say for here to go. And I thought they said, "How are you?" And I said, "Good, thanks. How are you?" And Rachel said, "Why did you just say that?" And I said, "Because they asked me how I was." And she said, "No, they asked you for here to go." But I think what happens is because I can't hear what they say correctly, I answer to what I think they said. And that's what I do a lot. I have to try to see what I think people are saying, and then I answer or laugh or respond accordingly. So a lot of times I literally am just feeding off the people around me.
Yeah, I can tell when he doesn't know what's being said or spoken. He gets this look in his eyes. Or if he's looking off, like waiting for, it's like a computer that's like, all the words are coming and he's got to wait for it to all go. And then he'll go, yeah. Like it just takes a second for it, like, okay, that's what you said. But I have noticed my mom, she's doing the same thing. I wonder if it's like a medication thing.
I don't take medication.
No, but like for her, you're not on the medication. Because my mom has been doing that. She can hear you. She just don't know what you're saying. And so it's new.
Like a 70-some-year-old
female. She has her pancreatic cancer has come back, and now she had a chemo treatment, and she's on Norco and other pain patches and everything to try to be not in pain. And there's some hearing loss that's happened. That's new, like within the last 2 months. So it's kind of strange.
So Jimbo, as far as the VA goes, I have applied for some of the disabilities, but like we've mentioned, I am not one. So when I was in the service, I literally tore my rotator cuff when I was in Turkey. I could not lift my arm for months. It was over 6 months. I couldn't lift it to 90 degrees. I still can't throw because of this. I don't document anything. I didn't never, when I was in the service, whatever injuries I had, I just worked through them and I just used my other arm. And so I filed for some VA stuff, and let me tell you, it is an absolute nightmare and a headache. And they're like, you don't have anything documented. And I go, I've gone to doctors and I've watched YouTube videos to try to see what I have to do, because the more I learn, I actually was sort of relieved when I learned that jet fuel causes a lot of the problems that I have, because I was like, I have no idea why I have the issues that I have, like my sleep apnea. I have sleep apnea so bad that the sleep apnea doctor, when I first walked in, he said, why are you here? You're young, you're in shape, like blah, blah, blah. And I told him, like, I think I have sleep apnea. I'm always tired. I could sleep for 14 hours. And then within 30 minutes of getting up, I was ready for a nap because I was never sleeping. Now I can just never fall asleep. But that's a whole nother story. But so he's like, yeah, you don't have sleep apnea. He measured my neck, looked in my throat, all this stuff. He's like, I'll give you a sleep test, whatever.
Wrote it down well.
So then I went and did all my sleep tests, and then I had to do another one with a machine, and then another one with a special machine. And then I went back to that same doctor, and he asked me, the same doctor that said, what are you doing here? You don't have sleep apnea, walked in and said, have you ever had brain damage? And I was like, no. This is how we started the conversation. Have you ever had brain surgery? No. Have you ever overdosed on narcotics? I said, no. What's going on? And he said, you have the worst case of sleep apnea I've ever seen for someone who's not morbidly obese. I think your heart is failing. You need to go get an echocardiogram today. So I did, and my heart is fine. My echocardiogram was normal. He's like, I have no idea why you have sleep apnea as bad as you do. And turns out, so that and other issues, the hearing, I've got chronic sinusitis, like all this stuff. But I've since learned that it's all stems back to the jet fuel. Well, the military, I guess, doesn't love that. So now, because none of it was documented, I filed my claims, and I got my notes from my personal doctor that they've been treating me for this stuff for however many years and yada, yada, yada. And then I went and did my thing, and the lady's like, yep, you have this. It's all related. Your face is swollen from your congestion, everything. And then in her official findings, she said, no evidence of anything. The medicine, the doctor, so it's frustrating. So I got denied for all of it after she told me to my face, and I don't know. So yes, a long answer.
He's trying to do everything he can.
And too frustrating is answer number 2. But hopefully maybe that'll get better, because I do know that they're addressing some problems with the VA, because if you haven't paid attention to the VA, there have been some things where the VA raiders, I guess they called somebody and they didn't hang up, and then they started talking trash about the person, saying that he just wanted money and this. Well, it was all on his voicemail, and that's how they treat a lot of us. Like, I'm trying to get help because I want to. I can't get better, but I want to. I feel like they did this to me, and they know they did this to me, so I should get something for it. But they are like, oh, they just want money. So they deny stuff, and it's very frustrating.
That's true.
Let's just say that.
If you owed them $10, they would haunt you.
Oh, they would, 100%.
All right, I wrote it all down. Well, we'll look them up. We're trying.
So yeah, I'm not done fighting, but they do make you want to just give up. We should be able to be on Friday Night Live. Well, I don't know. We might have an early morning. We don't know what we're doing yet for my dad for Christmas.
Too many people to try to see.
Yeah.
We don't want to do another overnight. We just want to do a day.
But we should sign up. I'm getting tired. I've been up
someone
a long
asked me
time.
earlier, I think it was Bill, about real estate. Real estate's not great. Like in Pennsylvania, it's not the best it's ever been.
It's slow. There's
But
not much for sale.
Most anybody that I work with currently, it's a lot. It's job relocating. It's people are no longer moving just for the sake of moving, just to get a bigger, better house or
Well,
a
interest
different
rates don't
house.
help that.
No, but so most everyone that I work with that is selling their house or looking to buy a house, it's because they are having to relocate for a job. And so that's not, a huge surplus of people.
I saw something Shibe said. I want to see what he said.
He said he's the same way.
Yeah, Shibe, you're still in. You need so this is what I tell people. And if any of you that are watching this, if you know anyone going into or in the service, because I always try to help people. I say learn from my mistakes. I did not document anything. And ultimately, what's super important is you just swallow your pride, document everything. If you have a headache and then another headache, go in and get it documented. If you have, I tell people, I'm like, if you have a hangnail, go to sick call. Like, because stuff that you don't know matters is going to matter later, because a lot of stuff, like Shibe, if you're in, you should get tested for sleep apnea, because you might have it and not even know it. I didn't know it, but I had it. And I believe if you get diagnosed when you're in, it's like sort of automatic, but you need to put that stuff in. So I tell, like, my cousin went in, and I'm like, listen, if you have anything, whether you think it's related to anything or not, if you get headaches, if you can't sleep, if you are tired after you, whatever it is, you need to go in, get it in your file, and keep your own records, because miraculously your records will disappear, because the few things I did have in mine no longer exist. They're like, nope, there's no record of that. Like, that's weird. So not only do you have to get it documented, but keep your own separate document. And it's a pain in the butt, but trust me, it's 100% going to be worth it for you later in life. And you might think you never need it. And a lot of us veterans are too proud. We're like, I don't need your help. I don't need this. I don't need that. But I look at it as our country is giving money to people who have given our country nothing. People that are just taking from our country. So people who have given to our country, you should be the first people taken care of, not the last. And to be the first, you need to, unfortunately, be proactive and do your part. And maybe, hopefully, you'll get out and you'll never need it. But if you ever do later in life, because some of this stuff doesn't rear its head until later, get it in your file, get a copy of your files and keep it, because then if you need it later, you have it. And if you don't do it like I didn't and you don't have it, it's an uphill battle that you can start climbing that hill now before you know you need it. So I tell everybody and anybody, if you're going into or in the service, document every hangnail. If you get sick, if you get a headache, if you can't sleep, whatever it is, get it in your file and keep a copy of it. And you will be better taken care of than I have been.
Yeah, Jimbo has some bad sleep apnea too.
Yep, it's I forget what mine was. It was insane. The doctor basically said you are never sleeping.
It was like
Rachel has thought she hates when I tell this story, but I love it. So she has come to bed before and thought that I was dead because I wasn't breathing. I would stop breathing for so long. She came up to bed and I was laying there not breathing and not moving. And she's like, he's dead. He finally died in his sleep.
Well, I wasn't sure.
And so we got a king size bed. She's like, he's still going to be dead in the morning. I'll just tuck in and go to sleep and deal with him when I wake up, because he's dead now. He'll be dead tomorrow.
You during the night and you were breathing, so I knew it was.
You
fine.
went to bed thinking I was dead.
Not sure.
So,
but I was too tired, and
I
wasn't dealing with it right then.
I got an ASV machine. It's like one of the highest levels. I think it goes CPAP, BiPAP, ASV. and it has literally changed my life. Like,
23.
I can sleep now for 2 hours and I feel better than I have ever felt before I had the machine. It's a pain. It is an absolute pain having to bring that machine, having to use that machine, distilled water, cleaning it. Like, it is a huge drag, but I would rather never have to use it, but it is a life-changing machine. Now my issue is, because my ears are always ringing from tinnitus, which I have, and it gets my brain going, knowing about all of these issues that I have and that have been caused, and then my brain goes, and then it doesn't stop, and before you know it, I'm laying in bed dead tired, and it's 3 or 4 hours later, and I can't sleep, and I just give up and get up. So now, when I fall asleep, I can sleep, but I can't fall asleep. It's sort of a mess.
There's a way to check if he's dead or not, but we won't go into that here. I know. I could have checked. I could have looked at him for long enough to see if he went, but
She was just like, well, there
maybe
he
I
goes.
was drunk when I went to bed. I don't know. I just was like, I can't deal with that right now. He'll either be here or not. Like, he's either alive or not at this point. He'd been in bed for a while before I got into bed.
So now YB Normal says he got a mouthpiece and he got rid of the machine, and some people get the Inspire. So the thing, there's different types of sleep apnea, which I know more about sleep apnea than I do about lawnmowers probably. But so there's obstructive sleep apnea, which is what the mouthpiece and stuff works for. It's like when your jaw relaxes and slides back, or your tongue is too fat, or something blocks your airway physically. That's obstructive sleep apnea. Then there's central sleep apnea, which is when your brain just doesn't tell your body to breathe. And then there's complex sleep apnea, when you have both. And that's what I have, is complex sleep apnea. So like the mouth guards don't work, or the Inspire don't work, because my brain literally doesn't tell my body to breathe. I always equate it to, I'm too stupid to even breathe on my own. And when I'm sleeping, that is truly what happens. My brain just says, you don't need to breathe. You'll be fine. You'll be dead, and Rachel will wake up in the morning and deal with you.
Either dead or not.
But so, some of those, like the mouthpieces and surgeries, like that stuff, it doesn't help me, because one of my 2 issues is my brain. So it could maybe slightly reduce my things, but it won't fix it. And the brain is because of the jet fuel and the tinnitus, which I didn't know, because tinnitus is actually a brain function, not a hearing function. And the tinnitus can make the sleep apnea worse. And my ears never stop ringing.
No. I don't know why I just went to bed. It was one of those weird responses. I should have never.
I mean, she ain't wrong. If I was dead, I was still going to be dead. But,
I shouldn't have told you that. I did that.
I love it, though, because it just shows how we operate, because we're not worried. I guess now I worry because I can't, about what I can be for my family as a provider and whatever, because of what I know is happening. And my dad has dementia right now.
I just didn't panic,
but I'm like, man, what if I feel like some days I have it, and I'm only 44 years old?
I can.
But
welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. Life insurance is up to date, so she's good there. Don't tell her, though. She might cash me in.
I don't even know how I would cash in on that.
I ain't going to tell you either.
I'll have to get a hold of work, probably.
They wouldn't know. You're out of luck. I'd leave me alive for now.
I'm ready for bed, though.
All right.
Jeff is right. You're looking tired.
I've been tired.
I have early mornings.
I'm always tired. All right. Well, thanks for everybody. Thanks for 25,000 subs. Miller Stumps and Firewood's at 773. Let's pump him a few. Getting to 1,000's awesome, man. That's one of the biggest milestones you want to get to, because then you can monetize. Then you ain't getting rich. I guess some people are, but we're not. I don't think too many in the firewood community are getting rich. But I'm going to need it to pay this copay for this kid.
Oh.
He's got heating pads and medicine and blankets. But anyway, thanks for the live. We have a lot of fun on these.
Thanks
I wish we could
for joining
do more.
us. Thank you all. It's
Congrats to
fun.
the winners. If you won, make sure to email us. I already saw an email or two. If we got links for the stuff we talked about. Well, not the S-Wing, but like the Camel City Mill socks, the Strike Hold, the sawsuppliers.com. We got links for that. It does help us out a little on some of those. We get some commissions. I mean, we're not getting rich off
Not
of
getting
them.
rich off it.
But we also try to get you guys discounts. Anytime I work
Right.
with somebody, I'm like, I want a discount for people who watch. And that helps. So
Right.
that's so if you need any of that stuff, either check our videos or our upcoming videos and we'll have the links, or email us and we'll shoot you a link. So
Bets loves his socks.
they're the best socks.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
Have
Have a
a
good
happy
night.
New Year. Hope y'all had a great Christmas.
We'll see you on
Probably
Friday Night
maybe
Live,
tomorrow
maybe.
night or next Thursday on the other Thirsty Thursday.
Yes. All right. Good night.